Okay, we are back. Sorry about that, guys. I had my shorts feed, it was messed up. I wanted to make sure that the shorts feed was activated and good to go, so that's why I messed it up. I also wanted to add in the whole PS5 bit and then the JOJO Friday and all that stuff. So I just messed up on pretty much everything when it comes down to it. I clicked the go live button before I was ready to go. Shorts feed wasn't ready. Title wasn't ready. Thumbnail was ready. So I'm terribly sorry about that, guys. Definitely sorry about that. But yeah, we're here. We're ready to go. We are locked in. We out here. I want to say thank you to everybody who came out to the first stream that ended instantly. Now for the second stream of the day. All right, guys, it's ready. All right, take it easy. 2 streams for the day. I'm done. Peace out. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Hope all of you guys are having a great day. I know I'm doing pretty good myself. Let me know in the chat. Is everything properly working fine? Let me know if you're watching on the shorts feed or if you're watching on the regular feed, how everything is. Hit the like button, guys. I think we need to like instantly hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's keep on going. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep that one just started good from the very beginning. So let's do that. All right, let's get into the shout outs. And the first dono of the stream, Yak Yiggity Yak Yak, please come back. Yak Diesel says happy Friday. Womp womp womp. Xbox fanboys, girls. The end may be nigh. The Switch 2 and PS5 graciously offer their shoulders for y'all to cry on. Listen, man, I'm not happy about. I have like mixed emotions on today on Phil Spencer being out and Sarah Bond being out, and because like the person that they got to replace them is like an AI chief. Like, like I think Xbox's run might be done. I don't know what's happening here, Yak Diesel. So while I'm like, it's like, okay, Phil Spencer's out, but I truly think Phil Spencer, I think he just got in over his head with the acquisitions and the money that Microsoft provided to them. Like, I just think that if Microsoft had less resources, if Microsoft was in the same position of Sega was, where, listen, we don't have this amount of money, we've got to literally just make the best that we can, and not do it by buying everyone, but just make the best games that we can. And if we go out swinging that way, then we go out. I don't like the way that Microsoft went out. Like, I don't like how they went out on Game Pass. They went out on buying a bunch of studios. They went out on like this was just a pitiful potential end to Phil Spencer's reign. Like, it just makes me sad, man. Like, I like to see people go out in good ways, and I just don't know if this was a good way to go out. Also, who is that? My man Justin with the 20.
I pre-ordered FireRed and don't care. Lol.
Yeah, I think that's how most actual Pokemon fans are going to do it. They're just going to pre-order whatever they want and not care. Like, I think the age of listening to YouTubers or content creators try to make you feel bad or get angry at you because you bought something that they think is too much is like, it's over, man. Like, they're going to still make all their videos and still make all their clips and cry and complain, but really it's just for them to make money. You really shouldn't care about what other grown men and women spend their money on, unless you're related to them or you have some type of financial stake into what they're doing from a day-to-day operations. There's really no reason for people to be like acting crazy on others. Now, once again, everyone's allowed to, and to put their own opinion if you don't feel it's worth it or not, but some people act like crazy. Like I said, some people, let me give you another example. There's like a content creator. They were like, oh, well, this doesn't make sense. Why isn't it just on NSO? Why isn't it $10 like the games were on the 3DS? FireRed and LeafGreen weren't even on the 3DS. They weren't. Those were the original like red and blue and like whatever, and like crystal or whatever. So it wasn't like the actual original game. So it's gotten to the point to where people are just complaining. They don't even research. They just say whatever is on their mind. The 3DS was like 2 gens ago. Like the 3D with no Pokemon home support. So it's like people people can just say whatever they want. It doesn't really, at this point, it doesn't even really matter whether they're right or wrong or whether they research what they say or not. They just are complaining just to complain. We got people who don't even like Pokemon, that don't even play the games, that don't even care, but they've got to have something to say. So really, I don't even pay attention to it. Like, I stopped paying attention to it like a while ago. Just like I said, I stopped paying attention to people that clip and people that act all crazy and try to, call me out my name and stuff like that. I don't care. Like, There's no point. There's no point in worrying about what other grown men over the internet are saying or what they're doing. Like, all that matters, you can come here, we can talk about things, we can discuss it, and that's that. Like, really, that's the start and stop of it, you know, for me at least. Maybe you say something on Twitter, but going back and forth does not matter anymore. You know, it does not matter anymore. None of a lot of this stuff is starting to not matter anymore. I'm starting to get a little concerned about the gaming industry, just overall, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Let's get into the shout outs though. Big love to Justin. Thank you for the big 20 on the JOJO Friday. Let's get a couple. Let's get a couple. We got two JOJOs coming in on JOJO Friday. Those $10 and up gets you that custom JOJO animation. And of course music too. If you want a music track, Justin. Also, Yak Diesel, let me know, and I got you. I don't know if that Yak Diesel's post it never popped up, so I'm not sure what happened there, Yak. So thank you for the what's it called, the $10 though, Yak Diesel. I appreciate that. Your message for some reason your message isn't popping up again, but thank you for the big 10, man. Yeah, I read it though. Okay, there we go. What's up, Broads Gamer? What's up, Dane? What's up, George FT? What's up, Nick93? What's up, General Zamora? What's up, Jay Gone? Jay Go? What's up, Dior? What's up, Michelle? What's up, Bead Queen? What's up, Nar? What is up? Welcome. Yak Diesel. What's up? What's good? What's good? Jeff Shadow. Listen, man. I don't even know about a good week these days, bro. Like, I'm starting to really question a lot of the things that I even like say and report on these days, man. Like, what does it matter? Like, we're gonna talk about PS5 sales, right? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about NPD. We can talk about Japanese sales. It's like that didn't save Bluepoint people's job. That didn't save Sony Japan's job. So it's like, what's the point anymore? You can sell 100 million systems, which is great. Shout outs to Sony for winning NPD, I guess, right, for January. That's great for them. But Bluepoint still got sacked. So it's like, oh, that's great, I'm happy. But then it's like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, the whole PS5 gen, you guys have Bluepoint, one of the premier remakes and remastered developers that can probably get remakes and remasters done in a couple of years. We could have had 2 or 3, and now we have nothing. You know? So it's like, I don't even know anymore, man.
At this rate, if you're crying over Pokemon being the price of an average indie game, you might be a Break boy loudly crying.
Broke boy. Hey, shout outs to Juice. Yeah, Juice, you know, I seen you kind of battling the fighting. I'm glad there's people like you to fight the good fight, man, because I've been watching too many of those Machiavelli videos, man, where it's just like the power of just not caring anymore, bruh. Like, shout outs to Justin as well with the 3.
This all comes from people who grew up with the Wii U and 3DS, where they enjoyed Muppet Show directs instead of games. Plus, they enjoy the games they did get because they had an allowance to buy games, but now they broke.
I'm pretty sure that explains. I'm almost positive that explains. I'm almost positive that explains a lot of people's situation at this point, where when they were growing up, they had the allowance, they had their parents buying them things, but now you have your rent, or you have your mortgage, you have your kids, you have your whatever, and it's like nowhere near the issue. But to be honest, even back then, people complained about the prices of virtual console games. Don't let anybody tell you that they didn't, because people did. Shout outs though. Combo breaks, 30-minute extension, overclock. I don't think we're going to be able to go the full distance today, guys, just because I have some stuff that I've got to do in the evening time. That's why I started up a bit earlier today. But I can go as far as we can. Usually I do like an hour, but we can extend it out to 2 hours plus if we hit the goal. So I appreciate you guys, man. Seriously, let's go. Let's go. You think they're done with consoles? They could be, man. They could be. They could be done with consoles. But yeah, the lady who was in charge of AI now is like the lead of Xbox. That doesn't sound good. I ain't never heard of this lady. Hey, with the $2 says Xbox really said, not today, PlayStation. Sony shutting down Bluepoint, Xbox getting rid of core people. It really makes me think, what was the point of these mass acquisition spree? It turns out to be a bad idea. It was. Ultimately, this whole mass acquisition spree, it was a bad idea. There ain't no other way to look at it. There's no way that you can sugarcoat this. There's no way that you can make this. It was a bad idea, which I said it was a bad idea from the beginning, but it was a bad idea. It just was. The Xbox Game Pass, it was like the best good/bad idea. It's a good idea for value. It's a bad idea because it completely upends your business model and how things work. It just does. It just completely upends it. They should have went the Xbox 360 route. Spend all that money on getting new studios or or getting certain games. If it wasn't going to be ported, help those developers port the games over. That money should have been spent like that. It should not have been spent on just buying up Activision, buying up Ninja Theory, buying up every single company you can. I don't like it. And I said I didn't like it back then. I'm not playing Monday morning black quarterback. I said that I didn't like it back then. I'm gonna say that I don't like it now. Like I said it back then when it was happening. I said I don't think this is a good idea. And I don't think it was a good idea. I don't think it was. Let's see here. George FT with the $10 dono and says, regardless of sales, it does feel like a deflating week of shutdown, a great studio, and an overhaul of first-party publisher. It like I said, yeah, regardless of how it all works out or whatever happens, it doesn't feel, I don't feel great about the week, whether it's Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, or whatever. But once again, I don't really let too many people, like I said, control my emotions or my feelings on this type of stuff. I give my opinion, and I get you guys' opinions on this. I do care about you guys. I do value what you guys have to say, so I'm going to respond based on you guys here. I'm not going on Twitter, and I'm not really worrying about outside people doing like what you guys say here is important to me, because you guys are valuable. You guys are here. You guys, have good opinions a lot of times, even if I don't agree with it. You guys, I value what you guys have to say. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to listen to what you guys have to say, and whatever you think one way or another, we can talk about it that way. And that's what I truly end up ultimately valuing, is like what you guys have to say. So everybody that's here. And that's not trolling. That's actually wanting to have good discussions. But yeah, it doesn't feel good, George. Like, I'll keep it a buck, man. It doesn't feel good. But you know what does feel good? Yo, that JoJo, let's go! You know me, I'm not going to be in a bad mood. Hey, look, listen. It's Friday. It's JoJo Friday. Let's go. Not everything's been great this week, but we can still have a lot of fun. It's all good. We can still have a lot of fun. Big love to George FT. Thank you for the big 10. Shout outs, guys. I appreciate that. 50 on the combo board already. So I appreciate you guys supporting the stream, man. It really means a lot to me. Really means a lot to me. Shout outs to Mr. Alan Ruiz with the 54 months. Pokemon FireRed, I think that Pokemon FireRed and GL Collector's Edition in the USA. I don't think so. I don't think that Collector's Edition is coming to the USA unless they announce something at the Pokemon Day. I don't think it's happening. I do not think it's happening. So we'll see, though. We will see ultimately what happens there. But I don't think so. Let's see here. Paul with the $5 says, this makes me think, why did Nintendo get things right when Sony and Microsoft get things wrong? Maybe they tend to overspend. This is not even about a get things right, get things wrong. It's just really more about the inevitable destruction of of how you set things up when you had success or not. The way that the industry moved, the way that Microsoft, all things, it's like a chain reaction. One thing caused another thing, which caused another thing, which caused another thing, which caused another thing. Nintendo had their own faults. That one thing caused another thing, like the Wii U, right? We can bring that up. And their fault was there. So they fixed that situation or fixed that problem then, which led to what's going on right now. They went on a little bit of a different path. Microsoft and Sony went on, or Microsoft went on this path, Sony went on this path, and they all are in different positions when it comes to what is happening in the industry. And there's almost nothing that you can do to change that. You know, it's kind of like a fate situation, in my opinion. Like, you just can't change any of that. But yeah, I feel you on that one, man. Like, I see what you're saying. I don't think Sony really messed up too much, but I think that there's definitely some really, really bad issues when it comes to it.
Good afternoon, OJ. It's unfortunate what's happening with Xbox.
Yeah.
Hopefully Asha leads the Xbox division with success. But you'd think Sarah Bond would step in Phil's place?
That's what it seemed like. It seemed like Sarah Bond was going to be the heir apparent, the successor to Phil Spencer, but that did not happen. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5, Psycho Pie. That did not happen at all. What happened was Phil Spencer is retiring. Sarah Bond is out. Matt Booty has been promoted to the Microsoft AI, promoted as Microsoft. Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec Asha Sharma named new Xbox boss. So that's what happened there. They talked about it. Mr. Nutella, yeah, not Nutella. So I want to thank Phil for his extraordinary leadership and partnership. Microsoft CEO Satellaview Nutella said in an email sent to Microsoft staff, over 38 years at Microsoft, including 12 years of leading gaming.
It all sucks, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. So I'm just going to sit back and play my Switch too.
That rhymes. Yeah, there's nothing that you can do. We're just here to talk about it, really, at the end of the day, right? Like, it just really, that's just here to talk about it. So, yeah, just nothing we can do. So, out to Justin. Thank you for the $3 dono. Big Justin in the house once again, supporting the stream like always. Yo, you guys get some love to Justin. Thank you for the big 3, man. I appreciate that. FireRed and LeafGreen kind of overpriced, but it's nowhere near as bad as people making it out to be. Unless Nintendo priced it for $3, everyone would say it was overpriced. In my opinion, I think anything over $3.50, people said it would have been overpriced. What's sad is that many people were cheering on Sony and Microsoft buying companies, and weren't even some game journalists condemning Nintendo for not making mass acquisitions. Yes, that is true. Derek Clay says, I think we can all agree that PlayStation's success is being overinflated by Xbox's failure. Their first-party output is abysmal. The brand has lost so much goodwill from fans. I think that this latest blow, Derek, with Bluepoint, yeah, like I said, Sony did a great job. They sold, NPD, top NPD. They sold, 92 million systems so far. But it feels hard to say, oh, yeah, that's great, because it's like Bluepoint just went down. It's like celebrating, I don't know, it's like celebrating, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. It feels like having a big old party and celebrating something right after a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like maybe you should have a couple more days of mourning or something like that. I don't know. But it just doesn't feel right. Bluepoint was, like I said, it was an awesome studio. I bought many of their games. I do like their remakes and remasters that they've done over the years. And to see them just be absolutely destroyed like that is just, it sucks, man. But, whatever, right? Vatset with the 10, JoJo.
Fridays. Hopefully all is well with you. I'm about to get ready to rock and roll and go to work. If you were there streaming, the internet was acting weird. It cut off, so the stream wasn't able to finish recording. Music request F0GX.
Shoutouts, Vatset. Thank you for the 10. Also, big love, Alan.
The biggest problem of Xbox is the side project of Microsoft. Sony recognized PS. And Nintendo is only gemming.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's part of it too. Big love to Vatset. Thank you for the big JoJo. Thank you for the big 5. Let me get your F-Zero music. And yeah, I completely understand what you just said there, Vatset, man. I feel you on that one, brother. I feel you. I feel you 1000% on that one. Sucks, man. It just sucks. It just sucks when it comes down to it. But, once again, you're ready to rock and roll, finish up recording, everything like that, my man. Everything's good on Friday. Let's go. Also, shout outs to Alan with the JoJo. As well as the biggest problem, Xbox side project of Microsoft. Sony recognized PS. Nintendo is only gaming. I mean, Nintendo isn't only gaming. They're just known the most for gaming. But, they have movies, they have amusement parks, they have other stuff. But, yeah, it's all based around their game IP. Like, they don't have stuff that's like, everything's based around games. Everything's based around games. Although they do have stuff that's not, gaming per se, but it's all based around their games, So, they don't have, like, other businesses that they do, like, ventures outside of gaming, But, yeah, so I see you on that one, Alan. Thank you for the big 10. Holy smokes, you guys are out here with the JoJos today. Also, Paul with another 2 says, do you think there'll be some Xbox closure next? I don't know, man. I think that there's definitely going to be some big shakeups. There's going to be some big shakeups, yeah. Gaming community, Fire Herman Holst. Phil getting packed up was not on my bingo card. He retired. He technically retired. So, I mean, was he forced to retire? Maybe. But he technically retired, guys. He did it. He didn't. He quit. but he's retiring. Like, he's done, like, he's taking his money and going home, you know, he's taking his ball and going home. I mean, he'll probably be, like, on different boards for, like, you know, like Bowser and Reggie Fils-Aimé. Like, I don't think Phil Spencer's going to be done in the gaming industry. I think somebody's going to hire him to be, like, on their board, just like a lot of these former executives are, you know, because of their years of gaming expertise. So, so yeah, man. But like I said, it just sucks, dude. Just doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right. I don't know. It's like Thanos getting the Soul Stone at what cost? Exactly. Well, like I said, for me, it's like the problem also that I had is that, like, I knew this was a bad idea with Game Pass and with buying up. I knew it was a bad idea, and people kept on telling me, no, it's not. And if I said anything, it was a problem. Like, I had the Xbox community just lay into me. I had guys like Jez just basically just call me out. Not call me out, but just say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, and this and that. And, like, it was just like a lot of these guys in the Xbox community didn't understand, man. Like, they didn't understand why it's such a bad idea to do what they were doing. They didn't understand the basic principle of you have to buy games. The basic principle of cause and effect. The basic principle of cutthroat corporations. Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo all deal with their own cutthroatness, whether it's Nintendo's pricing, whether it's you know, how they go about their internal, like, teams, whether it's, you know, Sony's cancellation of games and cancellation and, you know, shutting down of studios, whether it's Microsoft's and they're shutting down of studios and laying people off, Sony as well as laying people, like, they all go through their own thing. But the one thing that you can't do is devalue the games, is devalue what you do best. And I think Microsoft, unfortunately, did that and had to actually raise the price, right? They raised the price of Game Pass. Everyone's saying that this is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. Like, you can't just give away all of your games portfolios for Game Pass. You can't do that. It's not a sustainable business model. And it's not. They had to raise the price of it a lot higher. They had to get rid of Xbox Live. They had to do this core. They had to split it up. They had to do all these things to make it seem viable, because it's not. Because it's not viable to give away AAA games, to give away expensive, multi-year produced AAA games on a damn subscription service. It's not Netflix. Movies and games are different. Games, you can shoot a movie in 6 months. You can have a blockbuster movie shot in 6 months or in 8 months or at most a year. Most of the big movies are shot in less than a year. A lot of good movies are shot in less than a year. It does not take them that long to do the movie. Games will take you 4 or 5 years to make a game, 6 years to make a game. You can't just give it away. Or you can't just put it on a service and think everyone's just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna subscribe for the rest of my life. Like, it blows my mind that people thought that's a good idea. It's not. Gaming is different. You need to invest time and effort into gaming. People don't have the money to be spending on gaming and don't have the free time and the mental capacity to be sitting there and just playing games all day. Like, oh, Game Pass, yeah! Like, people don't do that. On top of everything else that they have to buy or play, or if they like Microsoft, or sorry, if they like Sony, or if they like Nintendo, that's not a feasible business option. Like, it's not. And I said this from the very beginning, it's not. It's good value, but it's not going to keep things together long term. Or you're going to have to make drastic changes. I never liked it. Big Tank Boy with the 5 says, gaming community, Fire Herman, host, gaming industry, the best we can do is Phil Spencer. Looks like Phil Spencer's time was numbered for the most part. After the situation, like, where they started all going multi-plat and, like, Xbox sales completely fell off the face of the earth, I think his time was right there. That's when it really got him. Yeah, Sarah Bond collateral damage. Yeah, Sarah Bond collateral damage in this one. Does this all mean Nintendo win console war? There is no console war, bro. Honestly, there is no console war. There is no console war. Not anymore. Because no matter who wins or no matter who gets this or that, it doesn't really matter. There is no console war. There really isn't, bro. I'm not even trying to be like all weird about it. There's Blue Point being shut down. the economic headwinds of Switch 2 and how it sold and how people even reacted to it selling or this and that. There is no more console war, bro. There is no more console war. He did say when he was retiring, his last day is on Monday. Monday will be Phil Spencer's last day at Xbox. Cody Bishop with the $5 is not to bring the race card, but isn't it sus that black woman who was previously being set up to succeed, Phil was pushed out or given the exit? I don't really think it has anything to do with race, to be honest. Like, I see what you're saying for sure, Cody, but I don't really think it does because they brought in somebody else that's also a minority woman to run Xbox. So I don't really think it has anything to do with that. I just think that Microsoft is gonna go full scale AI, and they brought in somebody who can do AI, like who believes and will push AI, because the replacement for Sarah Bond or the replacement for Phil Spencer is a lady that I've never heard about that did the AI sector for Microsoft. I've never heard of her. I've never heard of anything about her. And I don't think she has the same ambitions and goals as Phil Spencer has. And I know that Satya Nadella, he wants AI. He wants AI. He's telling people to stop calling it slop and other things like that. So he wants AI. So he put somebody that knows AI in charge of the Xbox gaming division, because what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of AI. And I think that's the move that they did because of, so they put somebody that fits that mold. So I think Sarah Bond doesn't fit the mold. She doesn't know AI. So she decided to resign. And I think she's on Tyson Chicken now. So, I won't make that joke, but not too soon. But still, like, I think she's on other boards. Sarah Bond, she's a smart lady. I think she'll do just fine in her next jobs and all that. So really, yeah, that's really it. Gambit Zero with the $5 donut says, "What up, OJ? Been missing the streams due to let's see here, due to new work schedule. Keep up the great work, man." Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Gambit. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. Let's see. Microsoft thinking they are too big to fail will bite them in their butt with AI. Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever, man. Like, it sucks. Like I said, it's not fun. it's not fun. It's not fun right now for Microsoft fans and all that. Microsoft has so many studios that they're gonna be fine in terms of like business plan. They're gonna be fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if Game Pass gets absolutely obliterated. If they just blow up Game Pass. Like I said, this might be going crazy and extending. Shout out to Dingo on my 40. Thank you for the 71 months. This might be crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft just blows up Game Pass completely and just says, you know what? This was the last year of Game Pass. At some point, we're just going to sell our games normal now. And they're just a publisher. They just sell games. And then I wouldn't be surprised if some other studios get sold off. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the beginning. And I hate to seem like Avengers Doomsday or something, but this definitely does not seem good. Like I said, there's too many red flags. Like the guys that were there before, like Sarah Baum, the people that were there before, gone. Phil Spencer, gone. Matt Booty now reporting to the AI chief. You didn't promote Matt Booty to the top. You promoted an AI chief that has nothing to do with Xbox. What does she have to do with Xbox? Why is she the chief of Xbox now? Satya Nadella, he wanted somebody that likes AI, that knows AI, that will be a puppet for him. It just seems like it's done, It just seems like it's done. It feels like, I hope it's not, but it just feels like it's done, So, I know I'm dooming. And you guys know I don't like dooming. You guys know, dude, when do I ever doom? When do I ever doom? I don't ever doom on this channel. You know why? Because dooming is stupid. Most of the time it's dumb and it doesn't turn out to be whatever it is. The people that doom all the time and make videos like that, they're usually wrong. Like 95% of the time they're wrong on a lot of this stuff, okay? But this one just does not feel great. You know what I'm saying? It does not feel great. With Sony, I think it's only a matter of time they follow the same path. I don't think Sony's going to follow the same path as Xbox. I don't think so. But Sony needs to make some, like, they're going to have some, listen. the fragility of the industry and the price of, like, they backed themselves into a corner. Recently in an investor meeting, which content creators aren't talking about, even though if it was Nintendo they probably would, or if it was Xbox they probably would, Sony laid out plans. They said, hey, we're going to monetize our base, and they said that the RAM prices are going to affect upcoming PS hardware. The PS6, the PS5 Pro is $750 without a disk drive. If they don't handle this transition well, there can be a big problem. There could be a big problem because, once again, $750 without a disk drive for a PS5 Pro. What do you think the PS6 is going to cost? Or they're going to have to drastically discount the PS5 Pro within the next couple of years, because you can't have a PS5 Pro costing more than a PS6. That doesn't even make any sense, because the PS6 is going to be more expensive. Or sorry, the PS6 is going to be more powerful. So I don't even know how you solve this problem. I'm not even trying to act like I know all the answers. I don't know all the answers. But that's why I said this was like fate. It was like, because they kept on trying to push graphics, push this, push graphics, push to the higher point, launch when they're not even ready. Like, all this stuff, I think it just created a dookie environment. It really just created a really, like, launching with the chip shortage, having scalping to death and back, you know, the tariff situation that we're dealing with, but we'll see what happens with that. There's some new information, but we got to wait for that. Like, I hope things get better. I hope things work out, but it's hard to say that when it's $750 for a PS5 Pro. It's hard for me to say, oh yeah, it's going to be great in the future for the, like, when, and it's $450, which might increase for a Switch 2 to $500 if you want the game with it. So it's hard to say that everything is just fine. I look at it this way: Nintendo, in their mistake of, you know, not having better graphics and all that, I think helped them out now, because since the Switch 2 is not as powerful as what we have currently, they're able to put it at a price that is still razor thin margin / maybe losing money. But if they had advanced more with graphics, they'd be in a really bad spot right now, because they'd be working on something that maybe is as powerful as, like, what, better than a ROG Ally or something like that, if they decided to go with the graphics thing, if they're doing a hybrid. So a ROG Ally X, I should say. So, and if anything, like I said, some of the decisions that they made back then help them now to where they actually have an affordable console for the foreseeable future. And honestly, that's, like I said, that's what I wanted. I'm done with console I am done with this. Like, this is the most, I would say, this is the most stressful between Switch 2, PS5. This is the most stressful console launches of all time. It felt like the Switch 1 console launch felt like child's play compared to mass scalping and the Switch 2 grifter arc and issues there and tariffs and all. Like, it felt like child's play. It felt like kids having fun. The Switch 1 arc was nothing compared to right now. Like, it's nothing, bro. Are you sure PS6 will be more powerful? Yes, I'm positive PS6 will be more powerful than the PS5 Pro. It makes no sense to release a PS6 that is not more powerful than a PS5 Pro. That is brand, like, you can't. There's no way that they can do that. If Sony doesn't feel any pressure from anyone, they will make detrimental decisions. Not lowering the price hasn't slowed down the sales, which encourage bad behavior. Not lowering the price hasn't slowed down sales. Well, it has. That's the thing. Year on year, in a lot of places, it has slowed down. But once again, we're in a pretty bad economic situation right now, to where not everyone is just rushing out to buy Switch 2 or just rushing out to buy even PS5s. They're down year on year 17%. And the only reason why here in the US the business was up year on year or compared to is because of the Switch 2. Switch 2 helped offset double-digit losses in hardware revenue and sales by Microsoft and Sony. Sony still was able to beat top sales for the PS5 unit and dollar sales in the US, not worldwide, but in the US. Obviously different in Japan, different in certain parts of Europe and all that, or totality of Europe. But the only reason why was because the Switch 2 launched. That helped offset the double-digit losses from Microsoft and Sony. So Herman Holst said it in his actual why they got rid of Bluepoint. If everything was just honky-dory, oh, we're selling, we're this and that, he wouldn't have to get rid of Bluepoint. He wouldn't have to get rid of Sony Japan. That is not what people do when you're doing incredibly well. You don't sack a bunch of companies. You usually sack acquisitions when everything isn't doing great, when you have to make changes because of the issues that they're having. So, like I said, it'd be great for me to sit here and celebrate it, and that's awesome that they did great in the NPD, and that's great, but it doesn't feel that great because, once again, you lost Bluepoint. What is the point of selling 100 million systems if you can't keep your goated developers? The whole PS5 era, they had Bluepoint, they had Sony Japan. You have two studios that can help fill in the gaps, that can help with remasters, remakes, that can help make smaller games and make great ports to help with the ecosystem to play more games and to have it more for the business. And both of them squandered and gone. So while, like I said, yeah, it's great that they're selling great. I'm happy for them. It's like, at what cost? Like, what happens here? You know, like, live service push, that failed, you know? And then also, like, yeah, you look at Microsoft, like, look at what's happening now. Like, it's not like my 6th generation or my 7th generation that I loved, where it was so competitive, games were coming out, there was exclusives, it felt more, like I said, it felt more alive. This just feels dead. With the exception of sometimes, okay, you get that nice presentation that we had with Sony. You get a Wolverine coming out. That's awesome. Nintendo's coming out with games. They're going to have Mario and Zelda. They're going to have their stuff. But it just doesn't feel complete. It doesn't feel complete with the whole industry as a whole, when that's great that you're selling, but at the same time, you're also losing, multiple different things here. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Time to go back to single system mentality. Pick one and game only on it all gen. Besides, console exclusivity isn't what it used to be. I mean, for Nintendo, it's going to be that. But, I mean, yeah, maybe for some people. What's Bluepoint? Bluepoint, they are a games developer for a game studio for Sony. And they made the Demon's Souls remake. They made the Shadow of the Colossus remake on the PS4. They made the God of War remasters on the PS3. They made the Uncharted remasters on the PS4. They made the Shadow of the Ico remaster on the PS3. And they've made a number of other things too. So yeah, they were really awesome for Sony in the PS3 and PS4 gen.
It really makes the Switch 2 complaints look so silly when you see the game industry imploding.
Yeah. It really does. It really does. It really does, man. Were they selling Longwell? Bluepoint, were they selling Longwell? You mean if their games were selling? No, not really. Their games don't sell particularly incredible, although they did, no, but the cost of their games aren't that high as well. Like, if you're doing remakes and remasters, those don't need as much money because you already have a script, a plot, everything's already done. All you have to do is adapt it. So you don't have to sell 10 million copies of Demon's Souls remake. You don't need to sell 5 million copies of Shadow of the Colossus because everything's already scripted out and you're just referencing the point and making it. So yes, their games don't sell as great because for some reason Sony fans weren't buying their games. But once again, if you're doing remasters and ports, those aren't anywhere near as expensive. And what those games do is that those games provide fillers. So there's not gaps in, they help fill the gaps in the lineup, right? So for example, look at Concord, right? Concord's done. They got rid of that. Imagine if they would have had a couple, like a nice 4K, 120 FPS Jack and Daxter collection in the meantime, right? Where you put all the Jack and Daxter games and you put, you put the trophy support and all that type of stuff and everything like that. Like, I think that that's the type of stuff that you do, like the fill in. Like even like with Nintendo, you might not like Switch 2 editions, but they still fill in the gaps for people to get excited about something. Oh, I never played Animal Crossing New Horizons. Okay, I'll pick it up on my Switch 2. Or, oh, I never played New Super Mario Bros. Or Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Okay, I'll get it now with the new DLC. Or, okay, I never played Xenoblade X. Okay, now I'll pick up Xenoblade X because now I can play it in 4K 60. So it's like they're good fillers just to help out. I know people online crap on them, but trust me, most people online aren't the people who are buying. Like a lot of people online are just talking. They're not actually buying whatever. They just feel like talking, or they're content creators trying to grift. They're blue check marks on Twitter trying to grift and make money. You know what I'm saying? Or they're content creators just trying to make money off of being negative. So most of the time for many people, it's like, oh, cool, I can pick this up if I want it. If I don't, then I don't. And that's all it is. It's just an option. You're not going to get a new game in its place. It's just going to be nothing. If they didn't do Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition, there wouldn't be any other game that supports that. They put a small group of developers to make something. That's it. You know, so that's the whole thing with that. So Sony botched what they even bought Bluepoint for. Bluepoint was a remaster, remake expertise. Sony bought them in 2021 after Demon's Souls remake came out in the late 2020. And then they immediately put them on a what was it? They immediately put them on God of War Ragnarok co-op developing. So you know, helping out with God of War Ragnarok. And then after that, they put them on a God of War live service game. So you bought them to not even do what you were supposed to do with them in the first place. You're supposed to put them on remakes and remasters. When they were independent, that's what they did. When Sony purchased them and then put them straight to work on God of War and a live service God of War. That's insane. And then they fired them. And then they canceled the game, the live service game, and then they fired them. And then they got rid of the company. It's like, what a disaster. It's like taking Steph Curry. Okay, so let's say you have one of the greatest shooter who plays basketball here, right? You take Steph Curry, and then you say, hey, Steph Curry, you're not playing point guard anymore. You're not playing shooting guard anymore. You're going to play center, and you're going to guard Shaquille O'Neal, or you're going to guard David Robinson or something like that, or you're going to guard, you know, a center. That doesn't set up Steph Curry to be successful. What you want is that you want him to play him at point guard so he can guard the smallest guy on the other team, you know, because he's not very big. And his defense isn't incredible, but it's serviceable. And then you want to exploit his strengths, and his strengths are shooting the basketball. That's what he does great. His strengths aren't dunking the basketball. He can dunk, but that's not his strength. So you don't send him slashing to the basket on pick and rolls to dunk. You send him on picks on the outside so he can shoot. That's his strength. But Sony essentially took Steph Curry and put him at power forward or center, right? Like that's the equivalent of taking Bluepoint, whose expertise is making remasters and remakes, and then you put them at something that they don't do at all, and then you get mad when they don't have success, and then you fire them and tell them that they're not good enough. That's exactly what happened. If the Golden State Warriors did that with Steph Curry, they put him at center. They're like, man, you're not really doing that well at center. What's going on here? All right, you're fired. They did not set up Bluepoint for success. That's my issue. So like I said, I'm happy for them that they sold 92 million, but what are you doing with Bluepoint? What are you doing with Sony Japan Studios? You are not setting them up for success for us to get more games. I have a bunch of Sony Japan and Bluepoint games over the years. The mismanagement here is insane with these two studios. And that's over the course of this generation. The PS5, 2021, Sony Japan Studio. 2026 now, Bluepoint. And there's been others that I'm not even, they got rid of other companies too. Shout outs to Chuck D68 with the 20, says Xeno X update 60 hours in on OLED, but I didn't like how it looked on Switch 2, but now I can, you didn't like how it looked on Switch 2, but now I can finish it. JoJo Friday, y'all. Yes, sir. Let's get that going. Sorry, my second Bluepoint rant on that one. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's tough. But let's go, JoJo. Steph Curry should guard Wemby. Yeah, I know, it's like putting Steph on Wemby. It's like you're not gonna have any success putting Steph on Wemby. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have any success putting Steph on Wemby. Thank you, Chuck D, with the big Thank you, Chuck D, with the big, what's it called? With the big support there. The big 20 on JoJo Friday. Let's go, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the big 20. Also, big love to switching it up with the 10. Yossi. Hey, OJ, it is sad waking up to this news. It is sad because gaming is my hobby and has been since the NES and has been a long time coming. Sadly, what the industry is looking like in 10 years, I don't know what the industry will look like in 10 years. I am at a loss of what the industry will actually look like in 10 years. I don't know. I do not know. I'm guessing heavily AI developed games. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. This is the most. I'm a motor mouth. I can talk a lot, but I'm at a loss of words of where. I usually have ideas of what the industry will evolve into, which I've talked about before. But to me, the fork in the road, the issue that I had to me was PS5 and Xbox Series. That's when I personally started to lose what would happen, because I didn't feel that this was. It felt like like a bad omen was looming when it comes to certain things, and it's pretty much been that way, to be honest. It's been like that. The situation with Sony and Microsoft are cases of putting their most of their eggs in their respective basket. Yeah. You haven't heard the term motor mouth? Because everybody's a motor mouth these days. Like, oh man. Exactly. It's like Sony took Odell Beckham and said, "Go play right guard." Exactly. That's another good. Or it's like you take Joe Montana and tell him to go play cornerback, or you go, "Hey Joe Montana," or "Hey Tom Brady, go play wide receiver," or like, it's like, wait a minute, what? You have like a best-in-class remaster and port studio, and you tell them to go play. You tell them to go make God of War live service game. That makes no sense. The situation with Sony and Microsoft are cases of okay, I already read it, my bad. Sorry, I missed so many comments, guys, just because I was ranting and reading off donations. If you made a comment and you want me to read it, please put it again, and I will do my best. Let me just focus on reading the chat now. And I'm so sorry, guys. Also, we have a lot of people watching. Thank you guys so much for your support. Please hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button yet, please hit that like button. I'll go as long as I can until my wife has some work stuff that she has to do, so I have to stop a bit before 4 o'clock. But I'll go as long as I can. We've hit our extension, so I appreciate that, y'all. And I want to make sure that, once again, I don't want to sound like I'm dooming. If you guys have positive news to talk about too, please put the positive news in there. I'm loving Xenoblade Chronicles X. I played it for about an hour or so last night. I really love it. It plays great docked with the Pro Controller. It plays with the Switch 2 Pro Controller and the back bumpers. Oh my god, it plays so good. It plays so good. It plays so good with that. So, yes, that has been great. That has been awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I know some people had some issues like with the 4K 60, but I don't know, man. I played it on the Switch 1. I played it on the Wii U. It looks and runs a lot better to me, so I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Let's see here. I can only hope that Sony is slowly learning their lesson with games like Astrobot and Tokon, so showing they're willing to branch out into other genres. Yeah, but Astrobot didn't sell big numbers though, so that's the thing that kind of worries me about that. It doesn't worry me, but something that's just a point of something to bring up with that. Good afternoon. I hope the day has been good. Everything's been good, man. Yeah, I agree. There's been a bad feeling this whole gen. Yeah, it really has been. Switching it up. Thank you for the 10, man. I appreciate you. Shout outs to the Aussies out there. What's up, Superpower, man? Welcome. If Ghost of Sparta fails, Sony is going to close Apollo Digital. If Ghost of Sparta fails, I don't think they made it. Okay, Lando, you're just joking around. Okay, gaming is on fire right now. Yeah. Do you think they will release the Game Boy Pokemon games on Nintendo Switch? I don't think so, Ali. Nick Foles wasn't a bad at receiver. That's true. Nick Foles he made a catch. I don't think you can put him at full-time receiver, though. I think you'd get lit up. Listen, I don't know why Blue Point being shut down felt like when I got cheated on. It really does. Think about it though. That's why I said in my video today. I said when you shut down a studio, that's anti-consumer, because people buy systems based off of the people that create the games. You buy it based off of the pedigree. When Sony announced that they bought Blue Point, everybody and their mom that doesn't even know what Blue Point is, everybody and their mama said, "Oh wow, This means Sony is going to start putting out a lot of remasters and remakes because that's what Bluepoint does. They do Demon Souls remake, they do Shadow of the Colossus remake, they do God of War remasters, they do Ico, they do Uncharted. Wow, we're going to start getting some of the best PS2, PS3, PS4 games redone 4K 60, all remade and or remastered in collections. This is going to be great. It's going to be a great filler. Sony did not do that. They bought them thinking that, once again, they got Steph Curry and then they put him at center. So yeah, man, like it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say anymore, man. But yeah, it feels like I said, it feels like you got cheated on, because if you bought a PS5 because Bluepoint, because I can get these awesome, I love Demon Souls, then I'm gonna get this.
I played a total of 4 hours of Yakuza Kiwami 3 since it came out. I put 5 hours into Xenoblade yesterday. Lol.
I wanted to put more time into Xenoblade myself. I wanted to put more time into it, but I couldn't. I had to go to sleep, and I had to edit. I edited one video and I ended up having to delete it because Nintendo'd me, or Pokemon Company'd me, because they were they actually announced the Pokemon stuff. But I wanted to get a video out. But anyway, last night was stupid. Let me just say that right now. Last night was dumb. It was really stupid, and I hated it. I ended up wasting a lot of time that I could have been putting into Xenoblade. So I ended up just making another video today. Nucio in her statement says she won't be chasing short-term efficiency or AI slop. Not sure if it's reassuring, though it sounds like corpo talk. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, you know. But hey, if that's what she says, that's cool. I see. Look, maybe am I dooming too early? Am I dooming way too early? Maybe. It's crazy seeing people trying to compare what's going on with Microsoft and Sony to Nintendo selling Pokemon games for 20. That's not even remotely similar. I listen. Let me tell you something right now. If the only issue that we had in this industry, that Pokemon games are being sold for $10 more than they should, or like, we'd be in a much better stance right now than we are. I'll say that. Xenoblade 60 is fire. I will finish it now. There you go. OJ, what about the handheld Sony is supposedly working on? Do you have any more news? Will it be delayed? I think that handheld, depending on RAM prices, that handheld might or might not come out, because RAM prices are just insane. So I think that the RAM prices need to come down. If these RAM prices don't come down, that PS6 handheld won't be feasible for most people to buy. It will be $700 plus, because it needs to be able to play PS5 games portable. ROG Ally isn't quite as strong enough to play like PS5 games like that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's close, kinda, to a degree, but not really. A base PS5 is still more powerful than a $1,000 ROG Ally X. So right now, you need, like I said, now once again, you can have custom APIs, you can have a dedicated system built. So if you do it that way, then you can get more power out of the system, but yet not punch as hard. If that makes sense, like the specs can be like, you know, like the Switch 2. It has dedicated APIs, it has DLSS. There's things that make it punch above its weight, modern architecture. These are all things that can help out. ROG Ally is just a PC handheld, you know, for the most part. So PC, there's the overhead of PC. So I'm pretty sure that Sony could probably make a system that's more powerful than a ROG Ally for cheaper. But once again, it's still not, I don't know if there's like I said, the RAM prices right now are the biggest concern. And that's why you don't see the Steam Deck 2. That's why you don't see the Steam Machine. That's why you don't even see the Steam Deck. Right now, RAM is just too high. So, it's great. So it is what it is. With the Pokemon games, remember, if you want me to read your comment, make sure you tag me and hit the like button, guys. 300 people watching. We should have 250 likes right now at this point. So let's go. It's free too. It's free. With the Pokemon games being on the eShop and not on NSO, I can easily see games like Smash 64 and DK64 being on the eShop. I don't think those have anything to do with each other, but yeah, maybe. You gonna be on Spawncast tomorrow? It was a boring last week without you. Yeah, I'll be on the Spawncast hopefully this week. Yeah, hopefully. I will be on. Phil on the front. You guys are silly. What is Xbox? The big media streaming Xbox thingy. My bad, dude. I keep forgetting to like. It's all good, Bubblegum Crisis. That's why I tell you to like it. The $1,300 Lenovo Legion Go Z2 Extreme isn't even stronger than a PS5. Exactly, right? So you got $1,300 systems that aren't even strong. Once again, they have PC overhead. Sony could customize it and make something that punches above its weight, you know, its price and weight class, just like Switch 2 punches above its price and weight. But once again, to be able to get a system that's as strong as a PS5, like, the portable technology has not caught up. Like, the pricing with RAM and parts has not caught up with the PS5. The PS5 and Xbox Series X in particular are I wouldn't say that they're overshoots, but they're like overshoots in a way, right? They're still very capable, and even in today's games, like, you can still, like, look at Ghost of Tsushima. It runs beautifully on a PS5. It runs absolutely awesome. So depending on how you build your game, every single Sony exclusive is like 60 FPS. Every game, there's no games that have crazy frame rate dips. Like, it was an overshoot for the generation. They probably could have went a little bit, you know, cheaper or a little bit not as powerful and probably still be good for the most part. Now, once again, depends on what type of games you like to play and all that. And developers love power, so I think Sony and Microsoft decided to give them as much power as they could. But I think that they overshot what people were actually wanting and vibing with. Like, I think coming from the PS4, people started seeing, like, there's a lot of diminishing returns. And I think that while, yes, it's doing good, PS5 is doing good sales-wise, Xbox doing good sales-wise, I think there's a lot of people that think that, it's not that great for me, at least, you know? So...
What would have happened if Nintendo released the Switch 2 this year instead? Would it have been bad?
Yes. If they waited to release the Switch 2 this year, it would have been bad. It would have been a really bad situation if they released the Switch 2 this year. It would have been... I mean, the only thing that I would say, like, I don't think it would have doomed the system. I just think that the RAM cost would have been a lot higher. But if they stockpiled all of those units that they had and sold them at that same price, I mean, it maybe wouldn't have been as bad. So I'm thinking about the RAM prices now, but I'm guessing Nintendo would have already procured so many systems like they had that they could have stock for, like, the rest. So I mean, it actually could have worked out just fine, but the game lineup would be interesting, because if you wait, then you obviously would have other games that are coming out later in the year. Those games would have to be obviously come out later, but you could have had maybe a better release, like, you know, like a more consistent release lineup where you don't miss a single month. Every month there's a new game, but you run into the problem of people just can't afford 70 every single month for the next year, right? Or 2 years, because that's what would have happened if they would have been able to just stockpile and procure and develop games. Right now they haven't really missed a month. They've missed like maybe 1 month or so. So I don't know how the release lineup would look. Some games would underperform even more, because you can't have a game every single month at 70 plus all the third-party games and expect everything to sell well. It's just not going to happen. You want to have a consistent lineup of games pretty much every month, but you want to make sure that there's a variety and there's other things, and there's, like, you know, you can't just blitz everything, right? So it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing what would have happened. I'm not really sure. Shout out to Justin with another 3, though. Good question. Very good question. What's up, Jackson? I haven't been reading your comments. It says, problem with the PS handheld is that it has to run at 10 to 20 watts, and PS5 games, even the select few updated to run in a low 100 watt power mode, would be too demanding. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the Switch 2 is a technical marvel. It is a technical marvel but Nintendo started with the Switch 1, but they have a long history of making handheld systems. So when they made the Wii U, they made a handheld and they made a home console, kind of like a really ghetto version. Then with the Switch, they took that technology, they made it better. It's where you can take that anywhere that you want. And then with the Switch 2, this is kind of like, you know, I wouldn't call it Perfect Cell, but it's like maybe the form before Perfect Cell, you know? So it's like very close to that final form. But I do think that for Nintendo, at least, the final form or the Perfect Cell is a hybrid device. I think that that's really what they need to do, but they need to keep costs down. Like, gaming is getting to the point where it's outstripping, like, the law of diminishing returns is outstripping the wow factor for a lot of casual consumers. Also, there was a report, I don't know where it was from, but there was a report from somewhere that gaming industry is definitely losing out to other industries when it comes to people's attention and time. Gambling, prawn, and other things are taking time away. Now, I don't know how real that is or not, but it could be. So a lot of that is taking time away from people that are buying games. Like, so I don't know. Let's see. The reaction of FireRed and LeafGreen from the usual haters proves that there's nothing that Nintendo could do to make them happy unless Nintendo just gives away their games and hardware for free. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but yeah, unless it's like $200 for a Switch 2, every game costs $30. People are just gonna be upset at no matter what, you know. PlayStation fans are acting like Phil Spencer retiring and Sarah Bond resigning is a victory lap. Yeah, it's not a victory lap. It's not a victory lap. It shouldn't be. Let's hope Nintendo needed RAM and PC. Let's hope Nintendo has the needed RAM. I don't think they have enough to last all the way through the year, considering they blew through 17 million systems in 7 months. And they're going to have to keep supplying them to Japan. Japan is selling pretty good. Europe and the US not as good as Japan. But they're going to need a lot of systems for later in the year. Pokemon Gen 10 is going to be announced next week. There is going to be a mass influx of about anywhere between 10 to 15 million people that love Pokemon that are going to want to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 specifically for a new Pokemon game. They didn't all buy it when Pokemon Legends ZA came out because Legends ZA is on Switch 1. That game's on Switch 1. This one's going to be only on Switch 2. So they're going to have to buy a Switch 2. So Nintendo needs to procure at least another, 20 million systems, probably for this upcoming year, to sell, because Pokemon by itself is going to move 10 million plus systems. Like, there's going to be at least 10 million people over the course of, November, December, January that are going to want to play Pokemon or want a Switch 2 for Pokemon. So, will they have to raise the price? Maybe. I don't think they have enough systems with the RAM situation. Hopefully the tariff situation helps out to where they feel like they don't need to. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Paul with the $5 dono and says, too many powerful consoles can't coexist. It's like having only ferocious dinosaurs. They might fight and hasten their own extinction. Miyamoto. Did Miyamoto say that? Dang, that's crazy if he did. Thank you for the $5, Mr. Paul Wall. Yo, thank you for the 5, man. I appreciate that. 149 on the board. We are getting very close to our Platinum and a half extension. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, though, if you have it. So, yeah. Yeah, TikTok and stuff like that, yeah. Switch 2 is insane. Being able to play certain games without being hot in your palms. That's the technical marvel of the Switch 2. Like, the fact that you can play games that it doesn't absolutely singe your fingers to death. The ROG Ally gets hot. Some of these PC handhelds are loud and can get a little hot. So, yeah. Well, GTA 6 is there's going to be a lot of people that buy systems for, like, buy a PS5 for GTA 6, yes. There's going to be a lot of people that do that as well. Like, that's going to be a massive sell. That's going to help boost PS5 sales a lot. That can help bring some spark back into the industry. Oh, not even could help. It will. That will. GTA 6 is going to get people to buy PS5s too, so maybe even some Xboxes as well. If you don't have as much money, I think an Xbox Series S and GTA 6 looks very appealing. So you can buy a Series S for what, 400, 300 something, 400, and then you can get GTA 6 for that. So that might be appealing to some people. Nah, they will still be upset even if it's $30 or for free. Some of them want Nintendo just to stop making consoles and put their games on PC and focus on graphics. Yes, some people do. You forgot Roblox and Fortnite's own gaming. Yeah, that's true. That's part of it. Roblox and Fortnite, those are two really big, gaming cogs that give people, like, why play other stuff when I can just play Fortnite? In Fortnite, you can play all sorts of custom games. You can play survival games. You can play, action games. You can play, like, people create different stuff within the Fortnite whatever, right? Like, I played a zombie game, like a zombie survival game on Fortnite, which was completely different. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that you can just do. It feels like an environment, like an atmosphere, like a whole ecosystem. So I think that's also, taken away a bit too. Because you can play Fortnite on tablets, you can play it on mobile, PC, you can play it on everything, I did see that GB Cat, the guy that got upset, he's going to be locked up for, like, murder or whatever because he can't play GTA 6. Although, if you have enough money and if you're good, they'll let you play video games in prison or in jail. they'll let you play video games, but it costs like quadruple the amount. Like if you want a PlayStation or you want a TV or you want like games, it's very expensive. And like I said, you have to be in very good standing. You have to be, the guards have to like you. Like there's a lot of things that can, but yeah, prisoners play video games, at least here in America. I think that was in the UK. But here in America, prisoners do have access, but it's just so expensive. Like just to procure video games and to get them and to be able to do, like it's not feasible for every prisoner to be able to play. But yeah, I don't know how it is in the I think that was UK. I don't know if they allow that in the UK or not. I'm not sure, but prison's disgusting. It's nasty. Don't ever do anything to go to prison, guys. Like seriously, like don't ever, you do not want to go to prison. Let me just say, as a gamer, that is D-Day. That is literally lining up to get, you know, like it's like the American Revolutionary War or something, like where they just used to line up and just be like, pow, like you don't ever want to go to, as a gamer, if you're a hardcore gamer, you don't ever want to go to prison. That is the last thing. You should be on your best behavior all the time. I mean, you should anyway, but that's why I'm terrified of prison, because I'm not going to be able to play games. I'm not going to be able to stream. I'm not going to be able to see my kids. I'm not going to be able to be me, to be free. Like, that's your greatest freedom in life. Like I said, if we live for a million years, then it'd be like, oh, whatever. But we don't. So, I can't imagine. I don't understand why people do things to get themselves to be in. It's giving up your freedom it's illogical. It is illogical to give up your freedom. Completely illogical. I don't care what is happening. I don't care what somebody does. It is illogical to give up your freedom. Illogical. Does not make any sense whatsoever. You only have one life. People are really stupid. People are really, 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 really dumb. You've got to be a complete idiot to do something that you know can land you in prison. That you know that you're going to get caught. You know that can happen. Like, you've got to be a complete moron. Can't stream. Can't go eat a cheeseburger. Can't go get a pizza when you want it. Can't just work out freely. Can't go outside and enjoy the fresh air. You can't go on a vacation. Can't play games. You can't vibe and hype with your friends. You can't do nothing, man. Sucks. It's dirty. It stinks. The food is bad. Terrible. Terrible. Yeah, like, oh my God. Don't even get me started on shower stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've never been to prison. Have I played games in prison? I've never been to prison. OJ, the world is full of idiots. That's true. The world is full of idiots. All the pricing issues are going to be total more spent on free-to-play games, streaming, and so yeah. What the heck, man? Phil and Sarah are out. Yeah, Phil and Sarah are out, man. Phil and Sarah are out. They are out. So how about don't be a criminal because it's wrong, not because you can't do things? Well, yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. You've got to be silly to give up your freedom and to do criminal things when it's going to land you there. So it makes no sense to sit there and be a bad person when that is the result of what's going to happen to you. So yeah, I agree with that. Like, why do you want to do bad things that's going to take away your freedom? Like, living is about having your freedom to do what you want, your freedom to do what you feel like doing, right? Like being able to like watch this stream, right? Or being able to go out and enjoy family time, being able to go to wherever, go to church or go to this, go to like, that is like the essence of just being able to, you know, like live, right? You live, see your family, see your kids, be a good person, right? Ultimately be a good person. What is the point of doing crazy things to land you in prison and to where all of that is stripped from you? It makes no sense. Prison should be a detriment to all of that, right? So that's my thought process, at least. Yes, you should obviously, I agree, you should obviously not want to do bad things, you know, but there's a reason why that there's strict penalties, right? It's to deter you from doing something crazy, because hey, if you do this is what's going to happen to you. There needs to be consequences, right, for your actions. If the consequences weren't steep enough, people would be bad. I mean, we've seen that in the many times. Now, me personally, I don't think that would happen. But I luckily had good parents that raised me the right way. Not everybody has those type of things in their life. Sometimes people come across really bad scenarios, bad parents, bad situations where they don't have that type of guidance. But one thing that maybe deters them from doing crazy things is because you will get things taken away from you. You like your freedom. So you want to be on your best behavior because you want to be able to enjoy and see your family and those type of things. Like I said, I've been around some really rough people in my life that did not have good guidance, that had terrible guidance, that had parents that messed them up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like messed them up, beat queen, or that didn't raise them right. And their brain constantly fights with them to do stupid things, to do crazy things from a psychological standpoint. Not everybody is raised, in a certain way. So I think that one of the big deterrents for a lot of these people that I know for them not to do anything stupid was having to go to prison and what happens there and being stripped of your freedom. So I agree with you in the sense that we should all be good and we should make sure that, we should want to not do bad things, not because it's going to take things away from you, but because that's a wrong thing to do. Hurt people, doing stuff like that, that shouldn't be something that you'd want to do. But man, the world is crazy, right? Not everybody does a great job of making sure everybody else is good, like their kids or their cousins or their nieces or their nephews. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. What about false convictions? Yeah, there's also false convictions. Yeah, there's also that. So this is what I always say with false convictions and stuff, bro. Well, that's why there's a legal system, right? That's why we have a legal system. So if it's a false conviction, you got to do it. Sometimes you can't afford a good lawyer, but I always say this, guys. You need to leave no doubt what is happening. Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt, and don't, chances are, and I'm not trying to victim blame, but chances are, it's like, man, if you're anywhere even near or around something that happens, you can get in trouble for that. But yeah, false convictions are a big problem. That is true. That is true. Yeah, let's not get into politics though, guys. Let's not get into politics, please. Let's say I'm in a way massive screwed me up so much. Yeah. See? But you're doing your best, right, Jeffrey? You're doing your best to try to be as normal as possible. But it's hard because sometimes it fights with your brain, They need to put whoever greenlighted Concord in the live service games into prison. Oh, man. Stay out of trouble or no Gen... Yeah, stay out of trouble or no Gen 10. Stay out of trouble or no Gen 10 whatsoever. Or no Gen 10, man. Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer leaving in one breath is crazy, yeah. Xbox, they had a good run, man. They had a good run, but it is what it is. Proud Nordics is great on Switch too. I need to pick up Proud Nordics. I have not picked it up yet. 120 FPS on that one. Also, this one here. First note from Ashar, from Asha Sharma. She says, the new CEO, dear team, today I begin my role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. I feel two things at once: humility, and urgency. Humility because the team has built something extraordinarily over decades. Urgency because gaming is in a period of rapid change, and we need to move with clarity and conviction. I'm stepping into work shaped by generations of artists. Engineers, designers, writers, musicians, operators, and more who create worlds that have brought joy and deep personal meaning to the hundreds of millions of players. The level of craft here is exceptional and is amplified by Xbox, which was founded in the belief that the power of games connect people and push the industry forward. Was this written by AI? Thank you, Phil, for his leadership, and to every studio, platform, and operations team that built this foundation. We are stewards of some of the most loved stories and characters in entertainment, and bring players and creators together around the fun and community of gaming in entirely new ways. My first job is simple: understand what makes work and protect it. That starts with 3 commitments. First, great games. Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. And I'm going to continue on here after the $5 from Party Man.
I've been here the whole stream but had to drive. Been a rough week overall and really wish I can go 1 week without some nonsense happening at work, gaming.
Sorry,
so
man.
sad to hear all the bad things going on.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just gonna play games and be happy.
That's all you can do. I'm not here to trauma dump on you guys, which it kind of sounds like I am. Then also, I'm not here to do that. Like, I want to be more of a positive influence and force. So I want to read off what we're saying here. And then, of course, we're going to talk about a lot of cool gaming stuff and all that too, guys. So, yeah, this is probably the worst it's been for a stream that I've had just because of the Phil Spencer thing, the Blue Point thing, the sales thing. This is the worst it's been for a while. I will say that. Shout out to Party Man. Thank you for the $5 dono. I'm going to continue on here. First, great games. Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel, innovative gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises, and back bold new ideas. We will take risks. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value grounded in what players care about most. I promoted Matt Booty in honor of this commitment. He understands the craft and challenges of building great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of game developers across the industry. Second, the return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. Everything she was saying was so good. Well, that's been Microsoft's thing. Anyway, let me continue on here. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. Third, future of play. We are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning what we already have: iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. I don't know what that means. As monetization and AI evolve. Now, there we go. We knew AI. I knew AI would be involved in some way, shape, or form, baby. I knew it. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. So not soulless AI slop, Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. Okay. Well, listen, that sentence is like a roller coaster. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. The next 25 years belongs to the teams who dare to build something surprising, something no one else is willing to try, and have the patience to see it through. We have done this before, and I am here to help us do it again. I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. I will require us to relentlessly question everything, revisit processes, protect what works, and be brave enough to change what does not. Thank you for welcoming me into this journey. I mean, like, this lady seems like a nice lady. You know what I'm saying? I think she seems like a very nice lady. She has a very nice smile. She seems like, she seems like she's super cool. She seems like she'd be cool, like a cool business lady to hang out with and like chop it up about technology and things. I'll let you guys see if you guys haven't seen her. Like I said, not like her looks has anything to do with the work that she's going to do. I just say that she just seems and just looks like a nice lady. Like I said, just seems and looks like a nice lady, And I'm not doubting that this lady can put together, or she has maybe the help to do something. But what I want to know is, here's what I want to know. What I want to know is, what would she bring to the table that a guy like Phil Spencer, that has been with Xbox from the beginning, or Sarah Bond, that's been there for many, many, many years, what does she bring innovative or new that Phil Spencer couldn't have figured out himself? That is the only thing that I'm a little bit like, okay, what she said here, that sounds great. This sounds awesome. I don't know if this was written by AI or the help of AI or like a speech preparer. This sounds great. But what can she do that Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond didn't see? She doesn't have a history in Xbox. She hasn't been with the Xbox gaming division. She hasn't been there in the trenches for many, many years doing Xbox stuff. So what does she bring that Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond could not bring to the table? That's the thing. That's the only question that I have. The only question that I have is, what does she bring to the table that Phil Spencer couldn't have done, or Sarah Bond couldn't have done? Why are they out? Phil Spencer's retiring. Did Phil Spencer really want to retire? I question whether he actually wanted to retire or not. So I don't know, man. It just feels, my spider sense is tingling. It just doesn't feel, right. She's saying all the right things, and that's awesome. Like, oh, it's built by humans, and it's this, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We will see. Exactly. There we go. I don't know, but I will see. Exactly. But we will see. I don't know, but we will see. I'm not sure. She was hired. I don't know. And like I said, she's from the, like, why wasn't Matt Booty promoted to head of Xbox? Why wasn't Sarah Bond promoted? The fact that they went and plucked somebody from AI to come here and do, like, I don't know, man. 38 years at Microsoft. Phil Spencer, 38. That is like that's more than like half his life. I think it's time for him to retire, though, I guess, right? You're at 38 years at one company. 38 years at one company. After 30, wait, how was he there for 38 years? Good. He's been there. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. The new CEO is saying the right things, but it'll take a lot of work to back up all these commitments. Yeah. It'll take a lot of work to back up all this, man. Take a lot of work for this one here. We'll see what happens, though, man. We will see what happens with this. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen, man. Not sure what's going to happen. I doubt he wanted to retire before the Xbox titles launch this year. Yeah, we'll see. She's to put the nice bow on the elimination of Xbox. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, she's saying all the right things, but it just doesn't feel right. Like, when you can, have y'all ever smelled like some and you're like, wait a minute, everything looked fine, but there's something that does not quite, it just, like I said, my spider sense, for all the years that I've been covering video games, bruh, my spider sense is tingling right now, bruh. Like, it just doesn't, like, when you have certain changes, like Reggie out at Nintendo, that, it's like, okay, he's been there for a long time. The dude wants to retire. The Switch is doing fine. There was no reason for him to leave. He left 2 years into the Switch's life, right? Into the Switch 1's life, 2019. So it's 2 years into the Switch 1's life. Everything's fine. Here comes Doug Bowser. Doug Bowser comes in. He successfully launches the Switch 2. It does good for the first 7 months. He's out after that. He's done. He's been there for a long time. He wants to move on. You know, so it just doesn't, something just doesn't feel right with this one, you know? I don't know why, but it's just, I know why, but I don't know, man. Phil's gamer score was fake. Oh man, dude, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's like I said, it just doesn't feel right. That was weird. That took forever to pin anyway, whatever. I didn't see Phil retiring for a long time, yeah. It was crazy to wake up to this morning, see all the negativity around Pokemon FireRed, LeafGreen. FireRed, LeafGreen. These people will never be happy. That is correct. That's why there's no point in arguing. Once again, follow the rules of the Machiavelli, my boy. There's no reason for sitting here and arguing with people online about prices for games. It doesn't matter the price for games. When games were 60 on the Switch one, people said it's overpriced. When games were 50 on the GameCube, people said games were overpriced. When no matter what, people are always going to say everything's overpriced, or just based on stuff that they don't like or things. So there's no point in arguing or wasting your time with people saying the same thing. It'll never end. It'll never end. So just buy what you want, play what you want, and stuff that you don't think is worth it, you don't have to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to buy it, you don't have to support it. So that's really what it just comes down to, man, at the end of the day. Thinking about Beanie Siegel, feeling in the air tonight. Yeah, feeling in the air. Yeah, man, just a feeling, bro. Just a feeling. Chrono Trigger will be announced that directing people will still bash Nintendo for not showing PS5 logo. People won't do that. People won't do that. She's an AI, bro. She's been hired to finish the job at Xbox. Yeah, that's the thing that gets me a little, like I said, concerned, is like her role in AI. That cannot be overlooked. Yeah, she says it's not going to be soulless slop and all of that, you know. So yeah. So it's crazy. Yoshi with the $2 says Xenoblade X Switch 2. Let's bleep and go. Yes, sir. Let's bleep and go. It's the DEA pickup. Bro, I ain't picking up, bro. I ain't picking up. That was actually, that might have been Sarah Bond, or that was Phil Spencer telling me, shut the heck up, bro. We ain't out yet. No, I'm joking. Oh, man. Yes. Yes, Xenoblade. I got my Xenoblade. I'm going to be playing tonight, man. I'm going to be playing some more tonight, too. So, that's awesome. I like how people were begging for GBA Pokemon games on Switch. Now people are mad about it. Anyway, can't wait to play LeafGreen again. Here's the thing, though, guys. When these games actually launch next week, they're going to sell incredibly well. They're going to shoot right up. Like, people are going to buy the heck out of these games. Because at the end of the day, the $20 is less than lunch for a lot of people. So they're going to definitely buy it, you know. Some people rather go hungry. Rather not eat lunch one day and buy these games instead. Or just drink water for the day. Fast. To say, look, that's how normal people rationalize game spending. Like, oh, well, you know, maybe I won't buy this because then I can spend it on this. So that's just how people don't go, oh, I start going into super tirades about game pricing on Twitter and things. That's not how normal people operate. Pokemon controversy is a distraction for Mario Tennis doing bad in Japan. Once again, Mario Tennis did fine. People that are trying to say it did terrible, it did this, it did that. Mario Tennis games, Mario sports games don't do crazy numbers. And once again, it's just Japan. It's not everywhere in the world. It's just Japan, and it's going to continue selling. It's going to do fine. And when we get the sales numbers, once Nintendo announces the sales numbers at the next investor reports, people are going to be like, oh, well, but then Japan. It's like, okay. So, no, you're just watching grifter videos of people that are saying, it just did bad. It did fine. It's a Mario sports game. It launched right next to Dragon Quest and other stuff. 40K plus digital sales, maybe 50, 60, 70K for the game. That's fine. And they'll do fine over the course of time. It's Mario sports. Nobody cares but grifters who want to make money off of it, trying to make everything look terrible. But it's fine. It's Mario Tennis. It's not anything. It's not some type of massive, oh my God, seller. Even 100K. That's okay. But it's not 100K in Japan. That's not, oh my gosh, greatest sales ever either. So, because that's what Mario Tennis Aces did. It was like 100 something K. That's not even that great. Like, not even crazy sales either. So, did just fine. People are just looking to create clickbait with everything. And the reason why I say that is, how many times do we get reports on other games doing bad in Japan? Pretty much nothing. Almost nobody reports on anything else with the Japanese sales when it comes to Microsoft and Sony games. Nobody reports really on any of those. They only report on Nintendo because they know that they can clickbait off of it. So, no. It did worse than Ultra Smash. It did better than Virtual Boy Mario Tennis. Well, once again, that doesn't include digital sales. So, Ultra Smash didn't do anything digitally in Japan. And from what I understand, and from what you can look at, you can see that the sales of the digital sales in Japan are just fine. It's one of the top selling eShop games there. So, yeah. Once I get, like I said,
if this was
we'll
all
wait to the
Nintendo
to the Nintendo.
I would have quit gaming. Thank goodness
numbers.
I have the Switch too. Also, every person I see complaining about Pokemon price is at least getting called out this time.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah, exactly. I saw John talk about it. Yeah, because people are going to always talk about anything when it comes to Nintendo in Japan. People will ignore everything else when it comes down to it, but there's no sales expectations for Mario sports games. Mario sports games don't have any sales expectations. People make up their own sales expectations and then talk about it in videos and say, oh, well, it didn't do as good as this game. Lots of games don't do as good as certain games in Japan. We'll see how it sells over the course of time. First week is just the first week. And I said this before, I'll say it again, it doesn't really matter. So when I'm right later and the sales numbers come out and it sells like a million units plus, I'll be like, oh, yeah, didn't really matter. When I'm right, like I was right about Metroid Prime originally when you were saying, Felipe, that it didn't sell good. You were coming here and saying that nobody bought it and it didn't sell good. Oh, no, it sold over 1 million. It sold right about in line. When you were saying Hyrule Warriors wasn't selling that great because it didn't do as good as the last Hyrule Warriors, no, that sold over 1 million. No, it did fine. So when I'm right later, don't worry. I'll make sure to let you know that I was right. What if it doesn't? What if it does? What if I'm right again? Like I was right on Hyrule Warriors and Metroid Prime and all that. What if I was right? What if I'm right again? What if I'm right? Because you came here and told me that Hyrule Warriors wasn't doing well. You came here and told me that Metroid Prime wasn't doing well, that nobody bought it because of the Japanese sales. You came here and told me every game that doesn't sell a bazillion copies in Japan and the starting up doesn't do well. And you only focus on Nintendo. You never focus on Sony or anybody else. So, no. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Moving on. I think you missed my Streamlabs donation. All right, let me get it. I did miss your Streamlabs donation. I did miss it. And he says, come to think of it, joining military, especially during the enrollment training, was almost no different to compare going to prison. Got my head shaved. You joined the military, Minato Mario? And all sorts of training, etc. Man, it was harsh time, but I learned a lot. That's crazy. I didn't know you joined the military. That's wild. Thank you, Justin, for the 3 as well. Okay, we agree to disagree? We can agree to disagree. Don't worry, I'll bring it back up when Nintendo announces the sales numbers for Mario Tennis Fever and it sells just about on par as what they did with the other Mario Tennis games or Mario sports games. I'll be like, oh, remember when you were trying to tell me that I'm wrong? Remember when you were trying to say, oh, nobody bought it? Or that it did terrible? Mario Tennis Ultra Smash? Like, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash doesn't have digital sales like that. Mario Tennis Fever does, and it launched next to Dragon Quest. Of course, it's not going to do as well right now. They'll do well later. They'll sell over the course of time, just like everything else. Like I said with the different games. But like I said, YouTubers told you that it did that. So since YouTubers said it, therefore it did terrible, and it's not going to do well. Just like Metroid Prime didn't sell 1 million. Just like Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment didn't do good. Just like all that didn't do great. Just like Nintendo Switch 2 didn't do good because of 1 NPD charts. Just like we know, guys. We know. A-Jam Bean. What's good? It says, are you using a wireless mic? A wireless mic? No, I'm not using it. It's here. It's just off to the side. Thank you for the 10, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. Also, Kel with the $10 dono. Shout outs. Chrono Rib with the $5. I want to thank Sony and Microsoft for always coming right down to any small Nintendo announcement controversy to poke Xeno prices.
Just picked up Xenoblade Chronicles at my local GameStop for $34.99. It's on sale.
Nice. You just picked up Xenoblade. Which one? Massive. Thank you for the big 10. Let's go.
The top sale chart on Switch 2 is very interesting right now.
It is. Resident Evil Generations Pack is number 2. Mario Tennis Aces is number 1. So, like I said, when we get the sales numbers, don't worry, I'll be right again. I will be right again. Thank you for the $3 dono. I appreciate it. By the way, I don't think we've seen Felipe's game hours. He said that he has it, but he never tagged me on Twitter. So I've been waiting for Felipe to show me the hours. He won't show me it. So he says that he has them though. So I'm waiting. Felipe will not put any money on anything. He needs money to buy Mario, like the new 3D Mario this year, or Pokemon or something. It's massive 21 with the $10 dono. That was massive 21 with the JoJo. Let's go. Mario 10, yeah, sorry. Mario Tennis Fever, not Aces. My bad. Mario Tennis Fever. Felipe ducking you. Yes. Shoutouts to Kel. Thank you for the tune-in tier pledge, man. I appreciate becoming a member. Let's go. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate it, brother. He is not. He has my Twitter. He has not linked me on Twitter yet. He hasn't done that yet. Oh, he thought he forgot. I'm not. I will not forget. I will not forget. Felipe. He says that he has his hours and that he could send them to me. He hasn't sent them to me. I don't see it on Twitter. He hasn't sent me them yet. Can I send it on Discord? Send it. I said yes. Send it on Discord. You were supposed to do that yesterday. You didn't do it. So send it. We've been waiting. Again, Mario Tennis faces an uphill battle due to reputation damage for Mario Sports titles last gen. It costs more. Word of mouth will repair much of the damage, I think. Well, the thing about it is that it doesn't cost more in Japan. People are only going off the Japanese sales action. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but Mario Tennis didn't have any type of, like, in Japan, it didn't have any type of reputation damage in Japan, at least from what I understand. It didn't. Mario Tennis Aces launched in the same month as Dragon Quest. That's really what happened, is that people didn't prioritize Mario Tennis over Dragon Quest. Why would they do that in Japan? So everything else is selling lower in comparison to Dragon Quest that launched anytime around Dragon Quest. So that's the reason, because Dragon Quest sold 500,000 units in Japan, not including digital sales. If you include digital sales across PlayStation, Switch 1, and Switch 2, it probably sold around 1 million units or close to that. So it's really because of Dragon Quest more than anything. When Mario Tennis Aces came out back in June of 2018, there was nothing around it. It just launched by itself. There was no other games. We were right in the middle of, I wouldn't say a drought, but kind of like just nothing really coming out. So that's the reason why. But this time, Mario Tennis Aces launched right next to Dragon Quest. People are playing Dragon Quest instead. Dragon Quest even outsold Mario Tennis Aces the following week. So Dragon Quest launched right to 500,000 in sales. And then the next week afterwards, it even sold more between the PlayStation, Switch 1, and Switch 2 than Mario Tennis Aces did at its debut week. So people are playing Dragon Quest right now in Japan. That is the game. That is the reason why. It's not because, oh my god, everybody hates it, or there's this. It's like, no, there's Dragon Quest is out. That's what's taking the time of most people in Japan. So over the course of time, though, after they beat Dragon Quest, and they'll still buy Mario Tennis Aces, like it'll still sell over the course of time. But for right now in Japan, Dragon Quest is pretty much the top. Is the top. Why are they gonna buy something else? Sorry, I said Fever. My bad. I said Aces. I meant Mario Tennis Fever. Mario Tennis Fever. Fever. Sorry. Brotendo Shillington with the $20 says, this non-mainline game didn't sell 1 billion units in the first 5 seconds. Instant flop. Geez, people, play what you want to play and enjoy it. The game selling well or not isn't a gotcha that these people think it is. It really isn't. It really
I'll
isn't.
share my year in review of people want to see that I play enough games to talk about them. Lol.
Justin, we can do that too. We can do that as well. Thank you for the big 20, Brotendo Shillington. And thank you, Justin, for like another 3. I appreciate that, my boy. I meant reputation damage for Mario Sports title due to Mario Strikers in golf. I think that will cause some people to hold off to wait to see if it's good, which is long term. Yeah, maybe in the US and all that. I don't know about Japan. I don't think that same sentiment wasn't happening in Japan. I don't think it was. And the price is fine. The price, it's like the game costs like $50-something in Japan. Like if you just take the conversion from yen to US dollars, it's not a $70 or $75 game or anything. It's like 50-something bucks. Which once again, Japanese economy is different. The yen has fallen off. People don't make as much money in Japan. Prices are high in Japan for certain things, not everything, but certain things can be high in price. So the Japanese economy is completely different. So it's not a one-to-one conversion, but once again, the system and the games are cheaper in Japan. So I don't really think there's any type of damage, at least Japanese-wise. I just think it launched next to Dragon Quest. Let's see here. So that's it. There are no big exclusives on Switch 2 as of yet, hence the low sales. The Switch 2 is the fastest selling system of all time in the first seven months. So I don't know why you're saying that there's the low sales. Low sales of what? Let's see here. This is why Nintendo games not going on sale. Flat price of $70 is fine. It's not a death knell to a studio if a game that like MS and Sony fans are used to. Yeah. Did you notice that OmniArch is toning down the rage bait? He's not. But no, I don't watch his channel, but no, he's not. And I don't care if he does or not. Shout outs to OmniArch though. Like I said, friend of the channel. Although I did ask him to come back for a debate. He said he ghosted me. So, but no, shout outs to him. At least for him to be mad enough to come on that first time. But I highly suggest waiting for Nintendo's investor report on. Well, it'll come out not in. It'll be the end of March for the fiscal year, but then we'll hear about it in March, April. We'll hear about it in May. So I recommend waiting towards May, and I think once May comes, they'll get the sales numbers for Mario Tennis across the world, and it'll probably be right on par with what Mario Tennis Aces did. Mario Tennis Fever, we'll get the sales numbers for that. I'll send it on Discord, but is it a good idea? Felipe, you send it or not, my boy. Send it or not. I don't care. Do whatever you want, dude.
I sent it on X. Lol.
Okay. DM? So... Justin... 857 hours. 50 hours of Kirby Air Rider's favorite game. Whew. You put about 400 hours from October to December. Oh my goodness. A little bit under 400. 460, 470. 6-7. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Good stuff there, though, Justin. Good stuff. Good stuff. This is why Nintendo get... Oh, I already read that. Nobody... Is the fraud catcher Felipe? Because I never said that you... I don't know who you are, brother. Like, I have no idea who you are. So... But he put 857 total hours, 265 games. My man is a gamer, for sure. My man is a gamer. He is a gamer. I don't know how you got this first 9 years with Nintendo Switch. I need to get that too. I need to find where you get that at. Just don't tell RGT you're still mad that people like Kirby Air Riders. Just to let you guys know, RGT does not like Sakurai games. Like, he's not a fan of almost anything Sakurai has made. I think he might like... Maybe he likes Kid Icarus Uprising. I haven't really heard him talk about that, but he doesn't like Smash Brothers, and he doesn't like anything that really Sakurai makes. And anytime that Sakurai makes a game, he says it's really Sakurai-ish. Like, he was talking about how Kirby is like Sakurai-ish, so he doesn't really like Masahiro Sakurai's games, which really Sakurai is really known for Smash Brothers and Kirby. But I think he likes Kirby, but Sakurai doesn't make Kirby anymore, so but yeah, he doesn't really like those games. Next Friday, Resident Evil comes out. Pokemon Direct and Digital Extremes is going to show Switch 2 gameplay of Warframe. Announce the release date. Stacked for Nintendo fans. Oh, I didn't know they were going to announce a release date. I am interested in Warframe. So I am interested in that. So that'd be good. What was the last game that played? The last song that played? It was from Shadow Hearts 2. Victus 1915 Battle in Europe. Really obscure PS2 game. I already said his favorite game from Sakurai is Meteos. LOL. Good game. Yeah, if his favorite game is Meteos, he does not actually like Sakurai's games. Because, I mean, Meteos is a good game, but, I mean, obviously Super Smash Brothers is significantly better than Meteos will ever be, right? Like, every Super Smash Brothers game is significantly better than Meteos. But if that's his favorite game, then yeah, he does not like Sakurai's games at all. Let's see here. The entire video was weird. Dude sounded like he was just pissed beyond belief. Which song is... Okay, I already read that. I mean, I wasn't really a fan of Kirby Air Riders either. I acknowledge it's well made, but game has its audience, but it's the Switch 2 exclusive I didn't really like that much. Yeah, not everyone's gonna like every single thing, like, and that's fine. Like, I don't really like, you know, they like shooting games. I don't really like shooting games as much. They like he likes racing games. I don't really like I don't like Gran Turismo and racing games as much. So not everyone's gonna like every single thing, and that's completely fine. You don't have to like what Sakurai makes. Just like I don't have to like shooting like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever that games that other people like, you know? Like, everybody has their own opinion on what they like and what they don't like. Meteos was great, but Super Smash Bros. Is way better. Super Smash Bros. Is way, 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 way better. Felipe said he sent it on Discord. All right, let me open up Discord. Let me see where it's at. Where'd you send it at, Felipe? Let's take a look, finally. It's like pulling teeth to get this man to release the files. The Felipe files. All right, so where'd you send it, Felipe? Where'd you put it at? Where did you put the where did you put it at on the Discord? Which area did you put it? Or where did you put it at? And then I can find it. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, 777AG00G? It's on Game Journal. Game Journal? Bro, I don't even know my own Discord. Where's Game Journal at? Oh, here we go.
Also, as you saw with my 9 years, I know my Pokemon. Lol.
Felipe out here playing Fall Guys? Fortnite? He's a Mario Zelda! He's a casual! He's a casual! I knew it! Shoutouts to just, I knew it! His games, he's put a lot of time into Mario Kart World. He's put some time into Kirby Air Riders. 10 hours into Kirby Air Riders. 75 hours into Mario Kart World. We'll give him that. But Fall Guys, Fortnite, Mario Galaxy 2, and he did put hours into Metroid Prime 4 or Beyond. And we gotta say, look, listen, these games are expensive, but you're a Mario Zelda-er. That's pretty clear. You're a Mario Zelda-er and a casual. Wait a minute, because you've got Fortnite and Fall Guys on here, and then just Mario Kart, and Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yeah, I'll give you the Metroid Prime 4. We'll give you that. That's not bad, Felipe. But you're not really beating the allegations here of being just like casual with the side of like a Mario Zelda. Like, you're not being, like I said, only 10 hours in Kirby. I mean, I get it, Kirby Air Riders. These games are expensive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and try to say that you should. But like, this does seem Mario and casual. It does seem that way. I knew it. I knew I'd see some stuff on there. You put 50 plus hours into Fortnite, and who knows? It probably was more than that. He probably, when he transferred over to the Switch 2, it probably erased his Fortnite hours. It erased your Fortnite hours. That's what it did. But I mean, I can see why you didn't want to give us your Nintendo wrap-up. Because I think your Nintendo wrap-up it was just riddled with, the top games would have been 2 Mario games, and Mario Galaxy, Mario Kart World, and Fortnite. Those would be I mean, I think that's the reason why you had no inclination on giving us your Nintendo wrap-up, because that would look bad on the Nintendo wrap-up. But hey, you know what? I'm not here to judge, even though I am clearly judging you, but it is about what I thought it would be. Casual games to just burn time, and Mario. That's really what I thought it would be. I didn't think there'd be some like lit stuff on there. There's no RPGs whatsoever. I mean, you don't have to like RPGs. I'm just saying. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, you can send me, guys. You can send me yours if you want to send me on the Discord, or you can send me on Twitter. Either one. So I don't know, man. I don't know, Felipe. I don't know, fam. I don't know. I don't know. This list is looking kind of weak, fam. This list is looking kind of weak. It's looking kind of weak. I'll keep it a buck. It's looking kind of weak. But hey, it is what it is, you know. Hey, look, Felipe, I appreciate you, fam. You know, you're still, like I said, you're still an elite. You're still someone. I appreciate you coming out to my streams and enjoying the streams and stuff. I appreciate that, for real, for real. There's no Pokemon? Okay. Wait, hold up here, hold up. I missed the top part. Okay, hold up. My bad. I missed the top part. Okay. So, sorry. Okay. So, but here's the thing. Pretty low amount of games. Sorry, my bad. I missed the top part. 26 total games. 598 hours. But this is probably across the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, it seems like. Most played Pokemon. Your favorite game was Emio? You played Emio, the Smiley Man? That was your favorite game? Interesting. I mean, it's just the Sideways F's Virtual Boy Classics. I mean, F-Zero 99, like, it's just a random assortment of Mario and Zelda, though. That's what it looks like here. Yeah, just like a random assortment of like Mario, Zelda, and just random little games thrown in here, Pokemon, and just random games thrown in here. So I can understand why you think that. I can see, after seeing everything that you're playing here, like from like the 3DS, it looks like, and from like the Switch 1, I can see why you think that there's no games. I absolutely see why. Because you're pretty much a Mario Zelda player. Really, that's all you play. With every now and then, you'll play like a game outside of like an Emio or Fortnite, a casual game. But I can see why. Like 100% see why. Like I said, there's not really any real lit JRPGs on here. I mean, Pokemon, that's really it. The last time that you played anything outside of that, when it comes to an RPG, was, what was it? Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not really much. There's no Trails in the Sky. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's none of the other, like, lit JRPGs that are out there. I do not see, you said that you played Hyrule Wars. I do not see that on here. Maybe you did play it, but yeah, that's not on here. So I don't know how many hours you put into that or not, but either way, like I said, I'll give him, listen, man, I understand why you feel the way that you do. This gives me a better understanding, because really you just like Mario and Zelda. That's really what you gravitate towards, is just Mario, Zelda, and like I said, a Pokemon here and there, but you don't really play a ton of variety. It's just kind of like the same games, kind of like over and over, which is okay. I mean, I play the same stuff too. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, I didn't see, I mean, there might have been Astral Chain and all that on there, but I didn't see that. He might have played it. Yeah, I didn't see Three Houses. Like, I didn't see, because he listed like a lot of the stuff that's like over 50 hours that he has, like 100 hours, then over 50 hours. And there's not really many games that are over 100 or 50 hours that he linked, at least. Some of this stuff is, yeah, like he put, I don't know why he put over 50 hours into Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I have no idea why you did that, but you did. But yeah, it's all good. And like what he has over 100 hours in is like Miiverse, and I think Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, Wind Waker on the Wii U, Smash Brothers, Mario Maker, F-Zero 99, Mario Kart, I think looks like, is that Mario Kart 8? Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon ZA, and yeah, like I said, there's not many that are over 100 hours. But hey, like I said, man, I'm not here to, I just understand now. I'm not, Felipe, I'm going to be much easier on you going forward, because I understand you really just like Mario and Zelda. That's really what your keys are. And like when you don't have Mario and Zelda, you just start playing random weird stuff like F-Zero 99 or like Welcome Tour, or like you just play like Minecraft, you know, or you play Fortnite. Like you just play random little things here and there. If it's not Mario, Zelda, or Pokemon. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. I get it. I get it. It's because it's annoying to game 100%. Yeah. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Let's see here. Shout outs though. I appreciate you, Felipe. Thank you for linking that. But it makes me understand. It makes me understand like why you say the things that you say, because you don't really like much.
W to Felipe for showing his hours.
Yeah.
It's perfectly okay to play those games. I play those as well. It's just that maybe he shouldn't be in some gaming discussions. LMAO.
That's why I said I'm going to go easier on him when it comes to that. Yeah, there's definitely discussions that Felipe inserts himself into that he probably shouldn't be, based off of what he even like the low amount of games that he even likes or tries out. Like, he probably shouldn't insert himself into a bunch of different stuff and talk like he knows what he's talking about. But I get it, though. That's why I said I'm going to be much easier on it. I agree with that statement. There's nothing wrong with playing what he plays. But if you're looking at what he has over 100 hours in, there's barely anything here. It's a lot of stuff that already came out that's old. There's barely anything. So he's not, like I said, you don't need to sit there and sit down all day and play games all day. Life is already tough enough as it is. But sometimes you would think that this guy comes here and he knows everything about gaming. The way that he sits there and tries to tell you this and say, no, it's this, and the sales this, and you would think that he actually plays and knows, but he's just watching people on YouTube. That's really what it comes down to, is that he just watches people on YouTube and then regurgitates the information here. That's what he does. That's what, it's not that he's out there playing all that other stuff. He doesn't care. And that's fine. But yes, I agree with that statement, is that there's nothing wrong with playing what he plays, but he probably shouldn't be inserting himself into like every single conversation with sales numbers and things when he's not playing the majority of this stuff that comes out, which is fine. Not everybody plays every single game. But yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, we are here to discuss different things and discuss topics, so people are free to discuss what they want. But I do think that his inexperience with certain franchises and games do lead to him just saying things and also being easily influenced by content creators as well. So I do think that, yeah. Shout outs to Monado with the $1 dono, and says, my most played games last year: Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, Trails of Cold Steel 1, and Trails of Cold Steel 2. Take that, Felipe. LOL. JK. Thank you, Monado, with the doll. But yeah, big ups for him actually linking it. I can see why he didn't want to link it, though. I can see why you didn't want to, you know. Let's see here. I can see why you didn't want to link it, though, because like I said, it's not bad. I don't want to become I don't want to act like an elitist, because these are okay games, you know. But I mean, I don't know why Welcome Tour is one of your most played games. Like that, I mean, that to me, like, should not be a most played game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should, like, when you say there's no games, bro, you're playing 50 hours of Welcome Tour. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cool stuff in Welcome Tour, but like 50 hours in Welcome Tour, like 50 hours in Welcome Tour. There's definitely better games you could have sang, in my opinion. Once again, don't want to judge for other people. You're allowed to play whatever you want. But 50 hours in Welcome Tour, and you're talking about there's no games. I mean, yeah, if you're playing Welcome Tour, then I can understand. If that's what you've been, if you put 50 hours, and then like your list is there's only 26 games total for the whole year last year, and 50 hours went to Welcome Tour. That's interesting. That's interesting for sure. Welcome Tour is annoying to do 100%. I want to do that. Hey man, everybody has their own priorities. I play a lot of other games for less than 50 hours. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, Metro Dread. I feel you, brother. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. It's all good, Felipe. It's all good. I'll go easy on you now. Now that, one, you linked it, which is cool, but two, I kind of understand a little bit more by looking at your preferences, you know? Shinru with the $10 dono. Shout out to Shinru. Let's go. JoJo.
Sup, ninjas.
Sup.
Been lurking while playing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Paper Mario. TTYD. What games are you guys excited for next month? Tell me.
I am excited for Monster Hunter Stories 3, but really I'm more excited for Resident Evil, because Resident Evil comes out at the very end of the month. So I'm excited for Resident Evil. I'm going to be playing that into March. I'm excited for, Resident Evil. I'm excited for, what's the game that's coming out here? I'm excited for Pocopia. I think I'm going to get Pocopia at this point. Excited for that. I'm excited for, oh man, Pokemon Day's coming up. So I'm looking forward to finally seeing Gen 10. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with all that. I would need therapy after 1 hour of Welcome Tour. No, I mean, there's some interesting... I still owe you guys a stream of Welcome Tour, so I'm going to buy and... I'm going to play Welcome Tour. I still owe you guys a stream of that game. But, yeah. I mean, I don't think I put 50 hours into it. I don't know. And then claim that there's no games to play when you're putting 50 hours into Welcome Tour. See, where do you find the year review at this point? I remember seeing mine at some point, but no, I think Nintendo might have made it to where you can't find it anymore. But there might be an archive of it. Maybe you have to use like the Wayback Machine or something. But yeah, like, I forgot how you access it at this point. I'm not saying Welcome Tour is bad. I'm just saying well, it is kind of bad in some respects. It should have just been included in the package. But like I said, if you're saying that there's no games to play, there's nothing to play, and all this and that, and you know, I think Felipe said something along the lines of he played Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and it's not as... He said Calamity was better even when it runs at like 15 frames per second, but I don't see Age of Imprisonment anywhere on here, so I doubt he spent much time playing it. But Felipe was arguing with me on Age of Imprisonment, but I do not see it here, so I'm guessing he barely put any time into it. I'm guessing he barely put any time into it. I don't know. I mean, he might have, but... Yeah, it's definitely... He didn't put as much time as I put into it. So I think that's what's it called? Psychopath was saying maybe you shouldn't be into every single... Like, you don't have to argue everything, Felipe. Like, if you don't put time into a game, or if you don't like a certain game, like, you don't have to worry about it or argue about it or anything. You can just say, hey, look, this is what I like, and that's that, you know? But like, you try to make these weird arguments for everything, which is just funny to me. How many hours do you have in ZA? I finished everything 215 hours. I put 68 hours into ZA, something like that. I did it 100% the game completely, but I got a lot. I did most of the missions and all that. Casual Noob with the Doll says, I put my Nintendo year in review pictures in your Discord if you want to see. All right, I'll check it out for sure. I'll check it out. Are we going over Felipe's gamer tag? Kind of, yeah. He gave us a little overview, so I understand him a bit more now. I understand him a bit more. I understand where he's coming from, you know? I understand. Let's see here. YouTube hides my actual prowess. Does it? All right, Fraudcatcher. I appreciate you. March notable releases: Pocopia, Super Mario Bros. Wonders. Oh yeah, Wonder Switch 2 Edition. I'm gonna pick up that for 20. I already have the game. Virtua Fighter 5, Fatal Frame 2 Remake, Shadow Tactics, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Mega Man, Star Force Collection, yeah. For me, Pocopia, Mario Bros. Wonder, Switch 2 Edition, and Monster Hunter Stories 3. Those 3 games are probably like my thing that I'm going to be picking up, you know. Let's see here. Are we going to ignore Emio Smiling Man? How am I a Mario Zelda? Well, I mean, that's one option. I mean, okay. You're a Mario Zelda-er. Like, you're mainly a Mario Zelda-er. And the reason why I say that is, yes, you have Emio. And that's great. That was your favorite game. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're into that. But it seemed like the games that you put the most amount of time into is Mario or Zelda. And when you don't have that, you just play a bunch of weird stuff. Like, you just play, like... Or you just play, like, you play, like, Fortnite. You play Fortnite, you play Fall Guys, you play stuff like that. Which is fine. Once again, nobody's saying that there's anything wrong. And Felipe, I said that I understand you and I will lay off. 1, for you actually, you know, putting that in there. But 2, because you're kind of more of a Mario Zelda, which is okay. You know what I'm saying? Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, nothing wrong with that. So I'm saying that I'm giving you like you win, bruh. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You know? Which Zelda is your favorite? I like Breath of the Wild and I like Wind Waker. OJ, you getting interested in Pragmata? Yeah. I'm interested in Pragmata. I played the demo. I beat the demo. I thought it was good. That game comes out in April, though, so I'll play it in April. Let's see here. Nothing wrong with being a Mario Zelda. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Next Friday is going to be so busy. Pick up my Resident Evil Generations pack. Yes. I'm getting, I think mine comes in from Amazon. So I'll be getting mine in the mail from Amazon. I think I'm going to get a review copy from Capcom for Resident Evil. So I think I'll be playing like a review copy of Resident Evil. Support fighting games with crossplay rollback netcode on Switch 2. What game are we talking? Oh, you talking about Virtua Fighter? Yeah, I did download the demo, but I haven't got a chance to play it yet. I seen that it looks like it runs pretty good. It runs and it plays pretty good, so that's good. I want to check it out for sure. I want to check that one out at some point. Oh, nice, Charles. Nice. Get that dinner cooked. I beat Pragmata demo 3 times already. Got the amiibo pre-ordered. Nice. Good stuff. So what else? Okay, we're gonna kind of pivot back to some of the stuff with Phil Spencer and some of the other things. Pokemon FireRed, LeafGreen. Let me know what you guys think about that. We've got about maybe 10 to 15 minutes left on the stream, just because time flies when you're checking Felipe's video game history. Oh man, so I got about that much more time left, guys. I want to say thank you so much for the combo breakers. Thank you so much for the JoJo boys. Also, I got to play the 2 times limit break. Let's go ahead and play that. Let's go. Shoutouts. Thank you guys so much for your support, like always. Get your questions in too. If you guys have questions, tag me at PlayerEssence, hashtag PlayerEssence by itself. More than happy to answer all those. And of course, we got to get another JoJo. We got a number of JoJos that came in, that $10 and up. So we're going to play that one more time for you guys. Get me a little pose at the end here, guys. Give me a little pose, JoJo boys, as well. Thank you guys so much for today. Seriously, you guys have been incredible. The viewership has been nuts. So thank you guys so much, man. We are averaging more viewers than we've ever averaged in like the history of regular PE live. So thank you guys so much. I mean, that might have to do something with the shorts feed. The shorts feed might be kicking into high gear. Maybe YouTube's finally promoting my stream a bit more. Maybe because we're starting to average 300 plus viewers. So I want to say thank you. Hit that like button though, guys. Hit that like button and let's keep it rolling. We're starting to average high 200s to 300s. So that's good. We should still have more likes in this though. We're at 161. We should have more than 161 likes. We should have 200 plus likes. So hit that like button. Let's go, guys. I appreciate the support, man. You guys have been nuts. Let's get it. I'm going to point to the Nintendo Go to okay. We heard you. Bowling works. No FireRed or LeafGreen will be released. Okay. I'm also a Splatooner. LOL, never forgot about that. Okay. Isn't Emil a horror crime novel? I mean, he's reading. Most people don't even read these days. That's true. That's why, guys, listen. I said I'm going to take it easy on Felipe. Listen, back to the Mario Tennis stuff. Once again, I personally feel that Dragon Quest came out, so that took sales away from Mario Tennis, but it'll be fine over the course of time. And once we get the sales numbers worldwide, it'll be fine. That's my opinion. Because Mario Tennis is not a game that you rush out and buy. It's a game that you just buy when you're not playing something else. You know, not everybody's going to rush out and buy Mario Tennis. So that's my thing, at least. So Dragon Quest came out in the same month, so I think it'll be fine. And like I said, once we get those sales numbers, it'll be like, okay, yeah, the game sold 1 million plus, and yeah, it was fine. So people did the same thing with Astral Chain as well. They looked at the Japanese sales, said that nobody bought it, and then it sold. It said it didn't sell 1 million, and then it sold over 1 million. So. Let's see here. So it's pretty cool though. I mostly play Final Fantasy, Pokemon, Virtua Fighter, Resident Evil, just any cool game. Yeah. I got 2,000 hours in Splatoon 2. Couldn't stop playing. Got 330 hours in Splatoon. Getting Mario Tennis later, not now. Yeah. Mario Tennis is one of those evergreen titles. Even if it doesn't do great immediately, 5 months later, it's still selling. Yep. Same thing's going to happen in Japan too. It's just going to slowly but surely just stick around the sales numbers. But when you launch the same month as Dragon Quest, yeah, that's going to take away sales from what you're doing. Donkey Konger. No Diddy. Shout out to Donkey Kong. Let's go. Big love to Casual Noob. Thank you for the $1. Appreciate that. I'll check out the year in review stuff too, guys. I'll check that out as well. Shout out to Shinru as well, too, man. Appreciate that. I didn't buy Marvel Tennis because it looked less appealing than Aces, and currently play Season 2 of Fatal Fury, less appealing than Aces. I've been playing both. I don't know. It depends on how you like the racket breaking mechanic thing. You know, I personally don't like the racket breaking as much. I thought the Fever Aces, or like the Fever rackets looked cool. And I like the fact that, like, you know, they like, it has a lot more characters and all that from the very beginning. So, and the graphics look better. The online play is definitely better for the beginning. Mario Tennis Aces, at least at launch, there wasn't like the 4-player online and stuff. So to me, it looked like a better, more complete package than Aces did. So yeah. Switching it up with the 10. Aussie. Just thanks for keeping me entertained. I've been off work with a bad back. Ooh. And I'm going a bit crazy here. I'm usually so active, so just resting is hard. Also, thanks for Felipe. Thanks to Felipe and his casual game. Oh no! Oh, he hit you with the casual. I'm sorry, Felipe. We still have to talk about those hours in Fortnite, though, bro. We still got to talk about those hours in Fortnite, though, fam. I agree that you do play. You know, you play some other things here and there, but them hours in Fortnite, I don't think it's just 50 hours, fam. Be honest. How many hours do you actually have in Fortnite? I don't think it's just 50 hours. I think it's more than 50. I think it's hundreds of hours that you have in Fortnite, if not thousands. So, what's going on with Fortnite, Felipe? What's going on there, fam? What's going on? What's going on? You got more than 50 hours, don't you? Don't lie. Shout out to my man. Yo, switch it up, Gabe. Appreciate that, bro. Overall, I'm liking Fever more than Aces still. I think that the people that play like hardcore, like competitive Aces and Fever, like if you compare the two, I think that definitely more people are more thinking that Fever provides a bit better competitive experience. I think maybe Ace's single player content or single player adventure mode might be a bit better. The baby stuff, I'm not really a fan of the baby stuff, to be honest. So yeah, which I think we all kind of looked at and say, yeah, that's not that great. But I think that the actual gameplay, how it feels to move around, the amount of characters, all that stuff I think is better. And the online play is silky smooth. Aces had some issues at launch. They ended up getting better later, but at launch it definitely wasn't as good. Like Mario Tennis Fever has been rock solid since the launch. And once again, it has all the content already packed in there. There's no... at least they're not talking about, oh, there's the extra characters coming this time and doing all that type of stuff with the updates. So, it's more than 50 because Switch 1 and PS5. Yeah, okay, yeah, more than 50. Yeah, I do. Switch 1 and I know that's what you play. You're a Fortnite person. You're more of a Fortnite guy. You just play Fortnite, and when you don't get your Mario or Zelda, you don't have anything to play but Fall Guys and Fortnite and casual games. That, listen, man, I know. It's okay. Once again, it's okay. Late to the stream today. Love your concept. Been trying to keep track. Will you double dip on Resident Evil and pick it up on PS5? Yeah, I think Capcom might give me a review copy for Resident Evil. I'm part of their at least I think I'm part of their creator program. So they sent me an email to be part of that program. So I think that's what's going on there. I think that's what's going on there. I gotta double check being part of Capcom's creator program thingy, you know? Yo, Shaw X with the big 20 as well says, you know what it is, JoJo Friday, but oh, surprise, Shaw X. Oh man, yo, the 250 overclocks, almost there, 248. Oh my goodness, thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate the JoJo boys. Let's go, combo breaks to JoJo Friday. Super Smash Brothers Deluxe. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so. I think they're gonna do more of a brand new game. I think they're going to do a brand new game, but we'll see. We will see what they decide to do and all of that. We will see. We will see what they decide on that one. I don't know what they're going to do, though. I don't know what they're going to do. Although, check out my most recent video. of what they could do for the next Smash Brothers. I had talked about that in Ninmar in multiple videos, so we'll see. Hit the like button. Hit the like button too. Another storm coming through NYC this weekend. Please pray for us. I got you, casual noob. Just sorry to hear about that, brother. Sorry to hear about that, man. I don't know why folks do this, but you never catch me justifying what games I buy with my own money. Strangers to people on the internet. I know, man. It's crazy. People go crazy with certain stuff when it comes to like Pokemon, though. I think it's one of those things where it's like Pokemon. That's really what it comes down to, man. Pokemon, people get kind of crazy with that type of stuff, man. So yeah. So LJ, you think Gen 10 will look graphically on par with Pokemon Snap 2 or a little better? The rumors say that it looks about like Pokemon Snap, the new Pokemon Snap. So that's what I'm anticipating. That's what I'm anticipating. So yeah. I'm anticipating that. So that's to Felipe, his wrap-up looking better than the fraudulent content creators not sharing their wrap-ups. That's true. We like I said, we did have to pull teeth to get Felipe to do it because he didn't want people to see all that Fortnite and stuff like I can see why he was apprehensive because of that Fortnite and Fall Guys and like I said, like some of that stuff. But yeah, it's not as bad as some of these fraudulent content creators that are out here. But once again, it is a bit light on variety, a bit light on like sauce. It's a little non-saucy. I gotta admit, there's there's a bit of missing sauce, like no Hades, no very low amount of games, like only 20 something games. I mean, that's not terrible for the year, but it's a little bit of a low amount. Not bad though, not bad. And like I said, it's missing seasoning. It's definitely like a little bit of unseasoned chicken, like where they could have used a couple, like maybe some paprika or something like that, but like it's not bad. It's not bad. It's the fact that I'm not a fraud. It's like you're not a fraud, but it's like you might hang out with them. You're not a fraud, Felipe, but you definitely hang out with them and you have some tendencies of them. But you're not one yourself. You're not one. I mean, no, those Fortnite hours, though. Those Fortnite hours and Welcome Tour, it's hard for me to look past those two things. But, I'll look past it. I'll look past those two things. I'll look past those two things. But I'm glad that you actually shared it. I'm glad that you actually shared it. So. They put Gen 10 on the eShop. It's FireRed and LeafGreen. Baron is going to be gardening in N64 trees. Well, those are GBA games, so it's not N64. They're GBA trees. So stop watching those grifters. Felipe's never going to stop watching grifters. He's never going to stop watching grifters. At least not anytime soon. OJ, it's okay on par. A game in terms of graphics has better textures and satisfied with that. Yeah, I don't know about better textures or anything like that. I mean, it should look better because the art style is going to be a bit different. But we'll see. I don't want to, say, oh, it's going to look way better based off some of the leaks, and then it's not that. So I think it's going to be around the level of new Pokemon Snap, which wouldn't be bad considering that's an on-rails game. So if it looks as good as that, even a little bit better, higher resolution and all that, I think that would be not perfect, not ideal, but it'd be okay. Fortnite takes mass skill at high levels. We don't know what he's playing in Fortnite, and we don't know how good he is at Fortnite either. So You can just be playing it because he can be playing a bunch of little casual games within Fortnite. He can be playing, like, you can play all sorts of casual and weird little games within Fortnite. We don't know what he's actually playing. We don't know if he's actually good. So, I could see a major controversy with Will Smith. I think you said Will Smith. Will Switch online announced in ports of Galaxy 1 and 2. No, there's not going to be any major controversy. Let's see here. Maybe we'll get TTBN Gaming to join you someday. Two brothers talking games, very sweet. I don't know who that is, but yeah, shout outs. I bet nobody knows what Switch 2 better than Felipe. He's got 50 hours in Welcome Tour. 50 hours in Welcome Tour. Yeah. What I want to see is more people actually talking about Japanese sales when it doesn't include Nintendo. That's what I want to actually see. Like, everybody only, like, I swear, everybody only talks about when it's Nintendo. PlayStation can sell 2 copies there of a game, and they'll be like, oh, well, it's Japan. They'll never bring up anything. It's only Nintendo. That's the funny part about it. And then when the sales ultimately end up being okay, they'll be like, oh, well, how was I supposed to know? I swear that's what's going to happen, bro. This Felipe is not well, I don't think he is. It only feels unreal that we're going to see Gen 10 Pokemon next week. Hope they confirm it's Switch 2 exclusive. Well, it's already been confirmed that it's pretty much a Switch 2 exclusive. So, according to the leaks, the Pokemon leaks that came out there, it's definitely a Switch 2 exclusive. I don't know how they're going to be able to get the game to run on Switch 1. Considering their output on Switch 1 and what those games look like, I don't know how they'd be able to get it to run on Switch 1. I don't think they will. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, and I think they're going to have to load up on Switch 2s this year. They're going to have enough ready, because like I said, I think there's going to be about 10 to 15 million people, maybe more, that want a Switch 2 that don't have one. And it's going to be all concentrated at the end of the year with Mario, with maybe Mario and Gen 10 Pokemon. So that was flip-flop when it comes to Japan VG sales. Yep. You think the Direct will not have it and then that's everything Nintendo Today app? Probably not. Watch the video on Chrono Trigger. I'm also super hyped for a remake release. Do you think it's releasing this year? I'm not sure when it's going to release or what they're doing. Looks like they're working on it. If Pocopia is Switch 2, I'm sure Gen 10 will be Switch 2 only. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why Pocopia is Switch 2 only is because how fast you need to load the data and stream the data. It's also a game key card only. What the Final Fantasy director had me thinking about the different sales like the different types of ways that the games are made, and Pocopia seems like one of those games that it's constantly persistently doing things, and it might have posed somewhat of a problem unless it was functionally built differently on the Switch 1. But once again, who knows? But all right, guys, I would love to sit here and yap away about video games till my heart's content, but I have to go. I want to say thank you to everybody that came out to the stream tonight. Tonight was an incredible stream. We hit pretty much a platinum and a half. You guys were out here. The JoJo boys were out here in full force. So I want to say thank you to everybody who came out to tonight's stream. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Please check out my most recent video if you haven't seen it. Please check it out. It is right here. So I am going to link it for you guys. My most recent, talking about Pokemon, FireRed, LeafGreen, and the controversy in the pricing. And we also, Nier Automata 2. That has been teased officially. Remember, Nier Automata 1 came out as a really late Nintendo Switch 1 port. So Nier Automata 2, that seems to be in the works. They just sold 10 million units plus. So check out that video if you want to know more about Nier Automata 2. Also, Bluepoint. I talked about Bluepoint games and the situation there. I discussed the full letter. So if you missed my stream on that, I talked about that. All of that in the videos that I just linked. So I want to say thank you to everybody that came out. Thank you to everybody that came out to the stream today, man. Seriously, you guys are awesome. I don't really watch the Olympics anymore, so I don't really prefer one or the other. But if I had to pick one, it'd be the Summer Olympics because there's like track and field. I don't really like winter sports that much. So if you haven't seen my videos, check out my vids for this week. We had a bunch of cool videos, and I had a Xenoblade video as well. So if you haven't seen my Xenoblade video, talk about the Switch 2 updates and all that, check that video out. I'm gonna link this one right here. And once again, big love to Felipe. Appreciate you, fam. Thanks for linking your stuff so that you're not a complete fraud, but you hang out with the frauds. You hang out with them. You're just not a complete fraud yourself. So check out my most recent videos, guys. Xenoblade stuff, We got RPG stuff. We got all sorts of cool stuff. So I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. And we will catch you guys for the next one. All right, guys. Peace out, home.